back home.
We're live. Hello, everyone. I don't sound live. Am I
Are we
live?
live?
No.
We're live.
We're live.
Hello? Oh, no.
The best
no.
part was
Wait.
that
Good.
Pete said, like, specifically when he hooked up our mics, he's like, do not say, are we live? Do not say, is my mic on?
Well, that was the least glamorous "you're live" of all time. He just kind of sauntered off stage like, "You're live."
Yeah, so we're live. Welcome to Walk-Ons, Final Four National Championship. Thank you to Walk-Ons for hosting us. Also, thank you to High Noon for being a great advertiser. We've been drinking High Noons all weekend long. I've hit a wall officially. I declared my wall at around 3:45. PFT is here. Hello, welcome.
What's up?
That was a diva entrance.
Yeah, that
wait
was.
till we're going.
Showing
and
up at
coming from the
4:01.
side door.
Listen, I'm fashionably late. What can I say?
Yeah.
I was on the heater.
We are.
Oh, you were at the casino?
I was at the casino. Roy Williams was there walking around.
He loves craps.
Scumbag.
Yeah.
Loves craps.
Shut up,
Why is he
Marty.
a scumbag?
He's a
Let me
scumbag.
finish the ad. So we're brought to you by Raising Cane's as well. We've been eating Raising Cane's all weekend. The best chicken fingers in the world. One love, Raising Cane's. We worked there yesterday. Awesome time. Also, Todd's here, who founded Raising Cane's. Let's give him a round of applause. He's the man. Seriously though, I think when I leave New Orleans, I'm gonna be like, man, where's my Raising Cane's? So I'm gonna have to have him shipped back to New York. So thank you for everyone coming out. National championship. I'm gonna say something that's gonna hurt him. I kind of wish Duke was in this game.
Yeah. A little bit bigger feel, yeah.
I kind of miss Duke.
For sure.
I just want to go home.
That's actually these microphones are the worst. That's a compliment, Marty,
Why is that?
because it shows the power of Duke.
Yeah, I
mean,
like the hate.
These are two huge programs, and people are sort of like talking letdown. Like, I don't know.
But he just wants to see him lose again.
Yeah, no, I want to see them lose again. Yes.
Like, he doesn't
yes.
actually want to see him.
Yes. No.
You
I
wanted
realized-
them to lose Saturday and somehow
Yeah, I
lose
wanted
Monday.
them to lose every single game.
Right.
I hit a wall at like 3:30, and I was like, if Duke was in this national championship game, I wouldn't have hit this wall.
No, you
That's
wouldn't
the
have.
thing,
You
I
would have been
just
jacked
powered
up.
through.
Well, he's also clearly only saying this because Duke's not in the national championship.
well, I
so
want him to lose
it's
again.
easy to be like, I
Correct.
wish Duke was still in.
Correct.
I had
that's
this
the needle
whole
you
vision
guys a
of
little
New
bit more.
Orleans. I'm going to have a great time. I'm going to celebrate after. I haven't left my hotel room.
Yeah, no, your life is over. I
Yeah,
killed
no,
you,
it's
Coach.
been horrible.
And you're like one of those sickos who like would honestly kiss Coach K on the lips if you saw him.
Anywhere he wants.
So I killed him. He's dead. He's completely dead.
I love him. He's
I
my
still
dad.
think he's coming back.
Yes.
On the
I
record,
don't.
I don't think he's going to
Yep.
go out with 2 losses like that. He's
I
too
agree.
big of an egomaniac. I don't. And by the way, I don't even know egomaniac. If that was me, I may think about coming back.
It's pride.
Yeah, to lose to your arch rival in that fashion twice,
No.
that's a bitter pill to swallow.
I do
He's
want
not
him to
the
come back,
egomaniac.
though. Like,
He
I've-
is an egomaniac. I saw a stat, and I don't know.
You
if this
saw a
is
stat.
true.
You've been looking up stats for fucking 2 weeks.
Coach K started his career at Duke, first loss UNC. His last game at Cameron Indoor, UNC loss. His last game ever, UNC
You
loss.
writing a journalist
So
something?
shout
You're
out the Tar
writing-
Heels. I feel like we have way more Jayhawks here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Damn.
Win by 40.
Where the hell are the Tar Heels?
Rock
This
dog.
actually makes me nervous, Dave,
For what?
for the Tar Heels, because like there's a shitload of Kansas fans.
No, but that makes
Jacked
sense.
up here.
That makes sense because Kansas has been going up. They've been playing for this. Carolina will be ready. I mean, it's still a national title game, obviously, and it's Kansas, it's Blue Bloods, but they're still resting. They already had it, so they're going to elevate game. Are you putting any credence in the Carolina will come out slow because of the letdown?
I think there'll be a little bit.
Yeah,
I don't
I
think
think
so.
so because like it's the ultimate emotional win that they had. They played maybe their best game. They hit all the big shots when they needed to against their arch rival coach. Like, it doesn't get more emotional than that win that they had on Saturday night. I think I'm going to take Kansas and I'm going to take a -6.5.
Oh, see,
I'm
I don't
gonna
like
move the
that.
line.
See, yeah.
I'm putting the plus next to it.
Dave, when I say they're gonna start slow, I mean like first 4 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm saying like first 4 minutes, under 16 timeout. That's when they're like, all right, let's go. We got
See,
this.
here's the thing about Carolina, and a lot of they were underdog twice, right? Beat Duke twice. But if the narrative, if
They've
Duke,
been underdog 2 games in a row. No, they beat St. Peter's. I'm wrong. I've hit the wall. Forget it.
but if let's say Duke won that game,
Yeah.
you good,
Thanks
math man?
for correcting
Math
that,
man?
even though I
Man them
corrected
up, man
myself.
them up.
So, but my point, if Duke,
But 3 out of 4 with UCLA.
can I
Yes,
continue
yes.
or what? It's like you want to do the little math. They were favored versus St. Peter's.
No, actually 4
3
out
out
of
of
5. 4 out of 5. Baylor.
Right.
My point being, if Duke beat North Carolina,
Wait.
4 out of 5. Small favorite against Marquette.
Yeah.
4 out of 6. Go ahead.
thank you. If Duke beat North Carolina, this would be about one pick 'em, right?
Yes.
Because there was a perception that Duke is better than North Carolina. They weren't.
No,
North
they're
Carolina
not.
has
They're not.
proven.
They are better
They're
than
not.
them.
Well, that's what I mean.
They
That's
all-
the
say that.
You all
That's
know
why-
it. You all
Marty,
fucking know it.
that's-
You all know it.
Marty, that's why they play the games, buddy.
So
That doesn't
it-
mean
that-
they're always better.
But there's an element. Carolina stopped slow. They got slaughtered the first time they play. Carolina is better than Duke. What's that? They got slaughtered the first time, right? Yeah, but I'm saying that's a totally different Carolina team. Carolina is better than Duke. This game should be a pick 'em.
Yeah.
There is no advantage to either
Didn't
team.
it open up as a pick 'em when
No.
we were looking at the
No,
look-aheads?
wrong.
No.
No, when we were looking at the look-aheads, wasn't it
No,
projected?
it was always
I could have
this.
sworn you said.
No.
I don't
Really?
I actually
Okay.
don't remember.
No.
All right.
But to me, there's a coin flip. Carolina is being wildly disrespected. I think Kansas is very good, but 4 points is outrageous, just like it was outrageous for them to be 4-point dogs against Duke.
Yeah.
And by the way, I've hammered it both times, and I have no affiliation
Sorry, Hills.
versus either team, but Carolina is getting no respect with the line. It makes no sense.
I agree with
Because if Duke won, it would be pick 'em.
Yeah.
But Carolina is better than Duke.
I'm betting.
Period.
I'm betting Kansas minus 10.
All right.
Minus
great.
10.
Right now.
I like it,
Remove the
Marty.
line.
Jumping
I
on-
like it.
Remove the line.
Jumping on my
I like it,
Yeah. Yeah.
By the way,
Let the hate
By the
flow
way,
through you.
Villanova is not that
You
good.
MVP?
Villanova was a distant 4 in this Final Four.
Yeah,
Well,
without
down a
Crystal
guy.
Moore.
They were either way. They
Down
were
a
a
guy.
distant 4 out of the other three teams.
You could do the whole Paul Feinbaum, Kansas ain't played nobody.
No,
Like,
they
in
have
this
not.
tournament, they have not really played.
They have a
anybody.
great conference, the Big 12, but
Right.
yes, I
Who
agree
did
with
really
that.
well in the tournament.
Yeah,
So to get
they
through
did. They
that-
beat everybody that they should beat, and they dominated. They took care of business against teams that they were better than.
Yeah,
They
but
played Miami. That second half against Miami was maybe the best.
Yeah, but
half
Miami
we've
is
seen.
like an average
Yeah.
ACC team.
No, it was always the
ACC
easiest
was better than what it was
bracket.
supposed to be.
Yeah,
Carolina also got to play St. Peter's in the Elite Eight. The tournament is the tournament.
Tournament's the
Can't
tournament.
penalize everybody.
That's facts.
point.
The tournament's
facts.
The
tournament.
tournament is the tournament.
Also, Rico's being very humble. Rico pulled an all-time team move last night. Rico, he saw that I tweeted out that I left my debit card at the bar, which I like to do at least
This
once
is
or
another
twice
one
a
you
year.
would say.
So we were talking about this earlier.
Yeah.
The Rico Bosco philosophy is let me do as many really nice little things that don't really matter in the scheme of life.
It matters
so
to
he
me.
can
No,
stab you in
stab
the
you
heart
in the back.
when it really matters.
It matters
so
to me.
everyone's like, oh, look, there's Rico Bosco helping a little old lady across the street.
Get
Meanwhile, he
jackets,
gets
forget
across
wallet.
the street and he takes a knife out of the little old lady's purse and stabs Marty in the face.
Rico is the best helper guy you want on your side if there is no conflict of interest. If there's conflict of interest and your interests don't align with his, that's a
Like,
problem.
it didn't hurt him at all to help you in that
Correct.
situation. If it was like he had to go get your debit card, and instead of getting your debit card, like he had a meeting with Ed Cooley, he'd be like, "Fuck you, PFT."
Yeah.
He'd
Well,
cut your,
well,
he'd,
well,
he'd-
that
he'd-
didn't
he'd
happen.
get your card and cut it.
But here's what I'll say. Rico is the one that did that. Nobody else did it. Rico
Right.
didn't have to do it,
So he could
but he
get-
did because
he-
he's a team
he-
player.
Integrity is doing the right thing when no one's looking.
He
There you go,
stabbed me in
Rico.
the back
He was not
yesterday.
expecting any credit for it. This was all like private conversations that we have. So I figured this morning, I saw my debit card underneath my hotel room door, and I was like, you know what? Rico doesn't get enough shine when he does the right thing. I'm going to give him some shine on it because I think he's a good
That's
guy.
why he does
I
it.
think Rico's
Don't
a
clap.
good guy.
Now tell-
Clap it
now
up
tell
for
him what
Rico
happened.
Bosco.
Now tell him what happened.
Well, the thing is,
Now tell him what
PFT,
happened.
he knows.
He literally wrote a book about how he gave up his middle seat to let
Yeah.
people sit next to each other on the plane ride. He banks small good deeds. That's what you do.
Correct. He thinks those all. Now tell him what happened.
Well, he knew you were going to tweet that, but so he stabbed me in the back yesterday. I'm
Yeah.
taking a nap. First of all, today he gave me his tax guy cheese, so now he's like, "Oh, I'm a good guy."
Yeah, of
So
course.
that's
He-
pretty
that's what he
much why.
does.
But yeah, he's like, "Oh, I'm going to take a nap, Marty." I'm like, "Oh, all right, I'll go lay down." All of a sudden, 20 minutes later, Dave sees him like he's going to his bar mitzvah, and is just like,
Can we at least
walking
get the
with his-
religion right?
He's
Jason
walking with
Communion?
his dress shoes on, and he goes to meet fucking Ed Cooley, McCaffrey, Painter, and you had an erection in the picture like this. It was
Yeah.
fucking unbelievable.
What was
Yeah.
his dinner like?
And
What
I'm
did you guys talk
No,
about?
it was a pre. I had another dinner meeting at
You had a
5:30.
pre-dinner.
That Marty was not
So
invited
it was
to.
for a drink.
So you had two dinners last night.
Yeah.
How many of those dinners was Marty invited to?
None.
What?
Zero.
How do you? What's a meeting to you?
We met up.
I wanna-
We met up for a drink.
Is
Yeah.
getting a drink a meeting?
we met, connected a little bit. He's like, by the end, I'll tell you what, I closed it. By the end, he's like, I'm coming on the pod. Absolutely.
I might start.
And now we're in with Paint This People.
I
I got a number the other night from around them.
Utah.
I might start an entire podcast series where I just interview people who had meetings with you and be like, "What do you think happened there?"
I actually think we need to
tell
get.
me what you thought.
We got to get Rico like a Salesforce account just for himself to like log his prospects.
You need
where they're
CRM,
at.
how they're
CRM
going,
just
old
for
school
his guys.
sales.
He's like, okay, close the deal. He's now a client. You should be the only one in content that has access to like the CRM system.
He's a handful.
yeah.
Did you go to dinner with Luca Garza?
Yeah, I went with you.
Whose friend was that? My
Oh,
friend.
It's
wow.
our, it's
So
our
I was
friend.
like, hey, let's go to dinner with this guy. We can maybe meet, maybe talk to him after.
Right, yeah.
Oh,
This was
Yeah,
quick.
no, you squeeze people
This wasn't
out.
a full sit down. We actually
You
stood the
people
whole
out.
time, so
You
it
squeeze
wasn't a full
people
sit
out. It's bullshit. He's good. No,
Thank you.
Listen, it's hard being.
We're all riders.
We are, but it's hard.
Yeah, well, if it was easy, everyone would do it.
Been
Yeah.
a good week.
That's the key to being a rider.
And I was saying before this that between Rico and then I got Jersey Jerry just popping off every 2 seconds since we've been in New Orleans. I think his
Well, your
now-
quarterback snubbed him.
right, and now he just texted me. He's like, "You better get your Chicago guys in line, otherwise we got a problem." I was like, "Jerry, I'm in New Orleans. I've been fucking working 4 days. I'm tired. Can I just get back to New York before you go crazy?" And he goes, "No problem. It's all good. I'm gonna go to war with them." I'm like, okay, that sounds like that's a problem.
No, Jerry's going to do what Jerry's going to do.
It is. There's an element of Jerry that like people are like, "Dude, get this guy under control." It's like, why do you think we hired Jerry and Rico? Like they're loose cannons. So when loose cannons start shooting at everyone, you can't be like, "Oh my God, my loose cannon's killing people." Like it is what it is.
There's certain guys you
Yeah.
can't get under control.
Yeah, right.
Like
You're like-
actually trying to get them. It's like, if you put a leash or a collar on a dog's or any animals bucking around, that you put it on, you tighten it, they buck more.
Yeah.
That's kind of like
Yeah, so
Jerry.
you just gotta let Jerry be Jerry.
Correct.
And I'm cool with that, but it's like I keep being like, "Hey,
Oh.
let me just get back to."
It
New
is your
York.
quarterback's fault, though.
I mean, I'm going to stand with Justin Fields. I told Jerry that. We've come to an agreement. Jerry said he's going to make it his life mission to hate the Bears, which I'm fine with. Hate is good.
Yeah, I guess. I mean,
He's
not
gonna
too,
be
many,
yelling-
not too many people outside Green Bay. Like, why would you hate the Bears?
Well, because Jerry,
Yeah.
Jerry, he's going to.
No, I know why he is,
Yeah,
but
he's going to be screaming for Justin Fields to tear his ACL every game next year. That's fine.
The picture was very funny that they put out because
Yeah.
it's two guys getting their picture taken together. I don't think either one of them wants to be in the picture at the time. They're just standing there like stone-faced, staring at the camera, both like, "This
What
is
is the
bad.
exact
Get me out of
story?
this."
So Jerry
He
was
went to
at.
an autograph signing.
He went to an autograph signing. Now, I think Jerry was like behind the scenes, so he wasn't like where people go and actually pay to do the pictures and stuff. So I think that's where it got a little confusing. Like Justin Fields was out doing autographs, taking pictures. He finishes, he goes backstage. Jerry's there, asks for a picture. Justin Fields, I think, was like, whatever, and then walked away and was like, I'm tired of this. Now, Jerry's a big respect guy. You know this about Jerry. He doesn't like being disrespected. Any disrespect, and he gets very upset. And I'm in an agreement with Jerry that he can hate Justin Fields. I'm going to defend Justin Fields. Jerry and I will still be friends.
that's the type of behavior that I expect out of an Ohio State guy, to be totally honest. Like when I heard this story, rude, uncivilized, classless Ohio State. So I
bill.
am on
Georgia.
I am on Jerry's side with that. I believe every aspect of it.
I mean, Jerry, yeah, he does not like any slight or disrespect. It's about respect
Yeah.
with Jerry.
Getting big times is tough.
I don't know if it was fully big timed. He took the picture.
he rolled his eyes at
Not
him.
getting the picture would be
Yeah.
big time.
That looked like a hostage situation.
Right, but not getting the picture would be big time.
The problem
right?
was the eye roll, right? It was the eye roll.
Yeah.
Jerry said he might have rolled his eyes, yeah.
Might have rolled his eyes. Okay.
knows?
So an
He
alleged
said, like,
eye
I've been
roll.
doing this all day, too. Like, I
Yeah,
don't want to do
which
it.
I'm sure he had been. And again, it was backstage. It wasn't like, you know,
Right, he was a
Jerry.
schmo, yeah.
Right. So we'll see where that ends up.
Do you think
I got
Jerry?
a fire I got to put out when I get back.
You think Jerry's DM'd him yet? You think he's like
Probably,
slid in, being like,
probably.
"You scumbag"?
Yeah.
I'm fine with Jerry hate. That's the thing. Is like I talked to Jerry yesterday. I'm fine with Jerry hating him. That's fine. Sports are good when people hate. I ended Coach K's career.
All right. I knew that was coming.
I literally killed it. That was all hate.
Would Kansas rather be playing Duke? Yes, right? You guys
No.
would have liked the opportunity to end his career. See, why? Because you're afraid of Duke?
It's an easier game.
See, that's such disrespect. Kansas, that's what I'm talking about. They're like, no, we don't want Duke because they think they're better than Carolina. They're not. They're not better than Carolina.
They are.
They are not.
Like how many? How many
what?
times
At what?
do they have to beat you before you're like they're better?
They just aren't. They have ugly Manic on their fucking team. Baycott, that he did a whole charade when he left the stadium and came back. I'm sure his mom's a nice lady.
We want to
He
talk about
sucks.
charades when Baycott's trying to do a fucking interview afterwards, and Coach K's like, "Oh, the cameras are here.
Hey,
I'm
rub
gonna
his
go
belly."
rub his belly."
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was tough.
And he said you were my player of the year.
You
He's all-
honestly didn't give one reason. I'm like, what? How can you say
They
they're
have
not better?
5
You're like,
first-round
Baycott did
picks.
charades.
They have
Yeah,
5
but
first-round
ask
picks.
how
They're
that
never
works
going to
out
have
for Kentucky
any
every
team.
year,
Anyone.
too.
Caleb Love might be the only person on that team that has.
So then Kentucky should have won like
Yeah,
every
every year.
championship for the last 12 years. Then.
Yeah, they were probably the best team.
No, I'm saying every other year.
So
Like,
you're just talent.
You're
Talent guy.
You're John
I look at
Calipari.
talent, yeah.
John Calipari.
You're
Got the
without-
Aggies behind you.
So Coach K,
Right.
Coach
Without
K
the
is a
HIPAA
horrible
violation.
coach.
Yeah. Yes.
He
By
is
your
a-
logic,
Good
Coach
point.
K
How
is
is
the
he a
worst
horrible
coach
coach?
going.
He's got
You
5
just said there's
championships.
more
No,
talent.
But
Marty,
5
that's
championships.
what I've
You
been
said there's
saying.
more talent.
Duke had the most talented team in college basketball this year. I'll give that to you. That just puts a magnifying glass more on
Coach
what Coach K did
Sweating.
was probably the most mismanaged coaching job in the history
Yeah,
of
you
college
put yourself in a
basketball
hole. You put
because
yourself in a hole.
their team was so
Listen,
good.
you guys are all-
They
Coach
could,
K could
they
be
could have
truly-
taken Kane, the dog from Raising Cane's, out there as the head coach for Duke, and that dog would have done a better
So,
job with that
Dude,
talent
it
that
could
they
have been the
had.
92 Dream
all
Team.
you
and
guys-
UNC still would have beaten Coach.
You hate
Exactly.
America. You hate that he has black hair when he's 75 years old. You hate that he is
That's
5
a new one. I haven't heard that.
No,
one.
I've said that. I've said, yeah.
That he has the hair?
I've talked about his hair, but I mean, like his.
Yeah,
We
You guys
should
are all
do- we
upset.
should
Dyes
talk
it.
about
He
hair.
dyes
We
it.
got a lot of Kansas
Doesn't dye
fans
it.
here. Bill
Listen,
Self has the greatest toupee of all time. So let's just
They're gonna
be
cut down the
careful.
nets. Rock,
careful.
chalk. Cut the. They cut down the nets tonight.
Listen, the more we do this, the more convinced I am Carolina's going to win this game.
No.
It's just
They're not. They match up so badly.
I feel like Kansas already has like their parade set.
Yeah, it's over. They
No,
they match up so well tonight.
It's a
But the
business
thing is,
trip.
like, if you look back at this weekend, 10 years from now, I feel like more people are going to remember UNC beating Duke than whoever wins.
Whoever
the
wins tonight's the third winner. It's going to be UNC
No,
number one.
and
No.
St. Peter's 2.
I disagree. It's like the 80 Olympics. Like if UNC finishes the deal, it's part of their entire arc. The game, the semifinal versus the Soviet Union, that's the game. But they won the gold medal. People know they won the gold medal. It's if North Carolina wins this, they know they won the national title and beat Duke. It's
But
a
if
different
Kansas does, no one's going to really remember Kansas won.
I see that again. So disrespect, like Kansas is a blue blood program. This would be self-sec.
Marty's the worst type of Duke fan.
This is
He's
when
the worst
self
type of
elevates
Duke fan.
himself. No, Kansas will
Marty's
come out
the
a
worst
winner.
type
of
of
this.
Duke fan.
You're
He
gonna-
doesn't think
Kansas will
basketball
not be
exists.
like a afterthought.
It doesn't
But
exist
how is
without
Kansas
Duke.
an afterthought now?
They're not.
That's what he's saying.
He's saying that.
Everyone is going to remember the 2022. Yeah, no one
He's
gives a
an
shit
idiot.
about you guys. I'm
Everyone
sorry.
gives a shit about
Coach
them
K's
except you.
last year. You only
Oh
cared
my
about
God.
this shit.
Kansas.
Oh
Wait,
my
but
God.
the only thing that changed,
dead.
obviously the Coach K because he retired. But if that storyline wasn't there, like North Carolina, Duke, Kansas, take 6, they're all blue.
But
and
that's the
Villanova
thing. The
too.
story's there, and that's why.
Yeah, but now
he
he's
makes
gone.
it all
Story's
about
gone.
himself.
He's gone, but still 2022. They're like, oh, that's when UNC beat Duke.
Who are you? You taking Kansas today?
I'm seriously taking him minus.
So
10.
everyone here is on Kansas.
No,
No.
no.
I'm on
It's
Kansas.
just microphone in the face.
I'm on Kansas. I don't want to bet on Kansas, but I feel like it's just everything is telling me don't overthink it. I've actually been betting against Kansas this entire tournament,
Wrong.
so it might be a little bit of me chasing all my previous losses and being like, you know what, I'm going to be on the right side. I've learned my lesson. I want to bet on UNC, but I feel like I do feel
I
like
have UNC
Saturday
beat.
night. It was such
you
an
do?
emotional night for him. It's tough to get it up again.
I don't
haven't
believe
seen
that.
the
For
old-
college kids for the national title versus Kansas, no, they'll be ready.
You don't think Kansas got disrespected this tournament though? It felt like everyone was like,
No.
love Gonzaga, love Arizona.
Who love Gonzaga?
No, I think Rico.
You?
No.
Coming in,
I don't think Kansas got disrespected. They were
people
in,
were putting Iowa in the Final Four. Like
They were in the.
Who put Iowa in the Final Four?
Dickie V got all 4 wrong.
You did.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, you
Friends with the kids. I didn't put them in the Final Four.
Had a meeting with
They
friends.
had the only reason Kansas didn't get as much shine this tournament, I would say, is because their bracket, their region was by far the weakest. It was the weakest 2 seed in Auburn. It was the weakest 3 seed in Wisconsin. It was the weakest. Who's their 4?
Providence.
Providence was the weakest 4 seed in Providence, and then Iowa the 5 seed that everyone fell in love with and was out in the first round.
Kansas is
Yeah, but that's
very
the
good.
tournaments, bro. I mean,
But I'm saying, like, that's
Fair.
I think everyone looked at the bracket and they're like, ooh, Gonzaga might have to go up against Duke. Like, there's all these big matchups.
Kansas hasn't played a tough game yet this
Well,
tournament.
Creighton actually gave him a good game.
Oh, stink, too.
Creighton gave him a decent game.
North Carolina, this game is coin flip. I did my same thing. I sat here. Was I the one who had North Carolina against Duke?
No, I did.
I thought you had Duke.
Oh, no, I had the over. I
You
had
North Carolina.
emotionally.
Yeah,
everything
right. You had
invested.
emotionally,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
you weren't convinced
I
that
didn't
was.
bet. I didn't
yeah,
bet it,
I had
yes.
money line. Listen, Carolina is very, very, very good. And they almost, I feel like, I'm telling you, people they just had this image of them at the beginning of the season, but they've been playing great.
No, I had him big against St. Peter's. That was an absolute.
Who was
easiest bet
favored in
ever.
that game? Rico?
which game?
It's UNC St. Peter's.
UNC.
What was the line?
I believe 12.
It was 8.
It was 8.
7.
Okay.
Guy
So
Should have been 12.
Guy doesn't know.
is tonight
Purdue was 12, so UNC is better than Purdue.
Is tonight a game that, like the in the arena, it'll be swayed one way because like changes from the Final Four? Like, can Kansas people come in? Can North Carolina?
Yeah, no, I think a lot
because
of
it's a
people
lot
came in.
deader out there
Yes,
than it
yes,
was on
yes,
Saturday.
yes.
So I'm figuring only people in the game are actual fans for the most
That's
part.
what I'm saying, Dave. I think there's an element like the fans, the North Carolina fans, are probably licking their wounds from the last 2 days.
I don't know.
They didn't
Do we
buy
have any
tickets.
North
They thought
Carolina
they were gonna
people in
lose.
here to speak for themselves? Like, do you guys think this is a letdown spot for
No,
you?
for the fans.
They're fans.
That guy's saying yes.
I mean, look how many there are.
6.
How many were here on Saturday? There were like so many here on Saturday.
They all bought their tickets home. They didn't think they were going to be here.
There we go.
That's the worst chant of all time. Tar Heels.
What do you guys say?
Horrible
Here
name.
comes the brotherhood?
We had
We don't
listen.
say that.
We had 4 girls behind us at the UNC Duke, and I have never heard the chant in the way it almost made me want to be a Duke fan. How annoying they were doing it. They weren't saying Duke. They were going deep, like 8 octaves down.
Yeah, that's how you do it.
I gave him a throat slash
It was
too.
yeah. They were no joke fans too. They were not happy.
Yeah.
We had
and then
a,
there was another Duke fan.
Ooh.
There was these 2 Duke ladies who told me to sit down at a Final Four game. Like, it was a big play.
Well, we were in
and they're
corporate.
Like, we can't even see the game. I was like, it's a fucking Final Four game.
We were in corporate.
Yeah.
That happens. I
I
got
was
told to
up.
sit down in the Super Bowl with
crazy.
Seahawks.
It's
The guy
crazy.
was yelling the whole time. Seahawk fan in the Marshawn Lynch game.
We had a 6-year-old Duke fan that was right in front of us, and we were like, okay, we got to watch our language. Like, let's be nice. It seems like a nice young kid cheering hard for Duke. And then right before tip-off, a 6-year-old UNC fan came up in our row, and they just stared each other down, and they were going at it all game. They're like, "You're a dummy. No, you're a dummy." It was great to watch, seeing the kids
PFT
get
took a
involved.
snooze during the Kansas game.
Yeah.
You were out
A
cold.
little nap.
I took a nap.
Needed
Listen,
the rest for Carolina.
I was
he
taking-
put on a hell of a performance in
was-
the second game.
It was
7,000
I was in
people
load
back.
management. I knew at the end of that Kansas game, they were up by like 11 points. I was like, I made an executive decision to take a quick nap in the last 5 minutes of the game. Didn't know people were going to be taking pictures of me or whatever.
I didn't see that. You fell asleep in the stadium.
I
Well, no,
fell
what
asleep,
happened
yeah.
What happened?
I made the election. I did it.
Yikes.
Well, he
No,
knew he
what
had to
happened
go to
was
Carolina.
The
so.
best was, Dave, so on the Pardon My Take group text, Liam texted us a picture of PFT sleeping, and then like 30 minutes later, PFT sent us a picture of Liam sleeping. He fell asleep right after he'd taken the
It was
picture.
4.6
Yeah, no, I mean, I
seconds.
was-
Lee
They
was
just
out.
both were like out cold.
Rico knows I was turned up to 11 for the entire game. I was there from tip to the end of the game.
You were.
I was locked in. I just
Need a nap.
You said I
There we
needed
go,
it real
I needed that.
fast, and you want to be ready for you.
Falling asleep at a major sporting event, those are legacy photos. Like,
They are.
if you do that, that's a legacy
fake
photo.
fan. Yep.
Yeah, no,
for
those will
sure.
stick with you forever.
I bet Hank wishes he could take a nap. I buried that guy. He's dead. He's been so sad, Dave. Was he sad at the meeting this morning?
Corporate Hank, 9:30 a.m. walking. He's got his coffee in front of him, straightening his tie, just asking me questions I don't want to be asked. He's a little sad.
Yeah.
He recommends, like, they got a great breakfast here. It was terrible. It was literally like just basic scrambled eggs. The hash browns were frozen, clearly.
He's trying to find happiness in anything he can. Like, yeah. LeBron is bringing.
Struggle
Yeah.
with Celtics.
No, what happened? Do we have a mic? Do we have an extra mic?
Why is LeBron bringing you happiness?
Because
Is he failing?
the Lakes
Yeah.
sucks. I know
Said
you
he
don't
would've
watch
went to
NBA.
Duke.
What? You take that as an insult. You
It's
do
weird.
not watch
No, no, no,
NBA?
no.
You don't watch NFL, NBA, MLB, or college football.
Actually, now that you're
All the
full,
HPs, tag them.
now that it's
All I was confused by is
winding
why
down,
is he bringing
are
them
you
at
going
the
on
end?
like a 4-month sabbatical
Yeah.
vacation?
No,
once this
he
moves
should have
over?
said
What is your
LeBron's.
role at Barstool after this?
I got some projects coming up.
What do you got?
He's got a baseball project.
Yeah, a nice little baseball project. PFT's opted out of that. What?
I didn't know if I would have the time.
Yeah, tell
Rico.
us the name.
Tease the name. It's a good name.
How many World Series teams are you going to pick this year?
Not many.
Last year you had 12, and
was
you didn't even
no,
get it right.
2 years ago, I was
Everyone
excited
with the
about
Dodgers.
baseball.
He didn't have the Dodgers.
Sports were back. I was excited about baseball. Well,
That's
all
like-
of them made the
That's
playoffs.
like when you took the Masters and you had everyone but Dustin Johnson.
Yeah,
Yeah, let's
you
go.
had the
Like,
whole
literally.
field.
Let's go 1 week at a time. Give your Masters pick.
Colin Morikawa.
You're still chasing
Again.
that one.
No, not chasing.
But
I got
no,
two
that's
flags in my
Colin
basement.
Morikawa hadn't.
I got two
Colin
flags in my
Morikawa-
basement. That kid is nails.
If Colin Morikawa hadn't won that tournament, what he won, the U.S. Open, you'd be down 1,000.
What's with your
burgers right
basement? Why everything, like, if you just have it in your basement, you're a fan? It just solidifies
now. This guy's
your
basement.
Yeah.
You know what we were
will know.
late on is Unders
busy.
Club jackets for the Masters. Green.
I know. They have a promo though. The foreplay.
I
guys
know,
have
but a
promo.
green jacket
Yeah.
like how we have for the
Yeah.
Oldest Club would have been a pretty good
Let's do
promo.
that next year. Hank, what were you gonna say about LeBron? And also, how sad are you?
I'm very sad. It's been a long day. I hit my wall after the game on Saturday, and I've just been
Well,
walking into
maybe,
I've been
Hank,
walking
I
into
saw
that
you
wall over and over again.
at 12:30, 1 a.m. smoking a cigarette, drinking a beer when we had a meeting at 9:30.
trying to
So maybe
cope.
that's why you hit the wall.
I'm trying to
You
cope.
haven't juggled yet corporate Hank and wake up whenever you want Hank.
It's new. It's a new era. You got to find that balance. Magic Johnson was on Get Up, First Take, whatever, and he was saying that they were going after DeRozan, and then literally, like, from Magic Johnson, it was like once they started talking to Russell Westbrook, the DeRozan deal went away, and then like everything hit the fan.
Yeah.
But hearing it come from Magic Johnson, like everyone says it,
Oh,
speculates
yeah.
about it,
Yeah,
but he
no,
was
LeBron
like,
traded for
we were
Russell
getting
Westbrook,
DeRozan.
told everyone, like, keep that same energy, and now is like, sucks. And he's basically, actually, if you actually break it down, LeBron's a genius because he knew if he brought Russell Westbrook on his team, there's a scapegoat for everything. Literally everything. Everyone hates Russell Westbrook. LeBron is just out there not playing defense, chasing the
Westbrook.
scoring title.
Yeah.
Bleep that out.
Spurs are a dog tomorrow again, too.
That's the Rico. Just keep taking the Spurs because they don't. Teams
Someone else
playing
told
them
them.
aren't
They're gonna roll
trying
them out.
because they
He
don't
didn't
want.
Been
tell
undefeated since I got turned on to it.
Credit your sources.
They're laying 14 back-to-back against Portland, covered by 10 points easy.
Rico, let me ask you a college basketball question.
Sure.
Where does this put Bill Self in the all-time rankings if he wins the title tonight? Because the two, you got to have two to be in that rarefied air. Like Cal is clearly without
Not.
two, he's not there. Like there's some
I
other
put
guys.
them in the
Izzo
group.
doesn't have two. Boeheim doesn't have two.
Yeah, it's like the five-time host thing with SNL. Like, he's in the conversation. Obviously, Krzyzewski's better than him.
5-time hosting. Well, Krzyzewski's gone.
Like, who's the Alec Baldwin of college basketball coaches?
Is he the best coach right now besides Jay Wright?
And Grasso.
If he wins, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Would be right.
I would, yeah. He's
He'd
better
have
than Izzo, obviously.
Right, he wins the Big 12
He's
every
better than
single year.
Boeheim.
That's
Yeah.
He actually had a great point too. I was watching an interview. He's like, this win would validate like all the Big 12 titles because that's kind of the narrative. Like you win the Big 12 every year, you don't win the title.
He's also got tough breaks in the tournament.
No, of
lost
course.
in the Final Four, Elite
They
Eight.
felt-
he
The
lost to
tournament
Nova
is
back
the
then.
tournament
They
is
were a 1
impossible.
seed when 2020 got
Yes.
canceled. He's been right there. He's been excellent.
This-
breaks in the tournament.
Yeah.
I think he's elite either way. It doesn't really change too much in my interpretation of him. He's
Two though makes a difference.
Yeah,
Because like I
yeah.
said, Cal, Boeheim, Izzo, none of those guys have two.
Right, but those are all like the best coaches. So yes, I guess you elevate out of those guys and go to what? Jay Wright?
Jay Wright,
No, Jay Wright.
Pitino,
I'd put Jay Wright
Billy
as
Donovan.
the best in the sport right now.
Yeah, but Billy Donovan, granted,
But
Billy
Pitino
Donovan,
lost
back-to-back.
Billy Donovan had
subtract
one
Pitino.
team. He had
Yeah.
one
Yeah.
unbelievable team
But
that
he
he
went
gets.
back to back.
Yeah, but that
That's
was like
hard.
one of the best teams in the history of college basketball. But if you like that's one team. It's harder. Like every single year,
Yeah.
Bill Self is winning the Big 12, getting 1 seeds, making runs.
I think two
Did Billy
two
Donovan
titles
have them in
cements you
2000
as
though?
being like an all-time guy.
Yeah, but would you put Donovan on that list?
I think you make a fair point that it was the same team.
But that
just back-to-back
I
years.
think knowing how hard the tournament is to go 12-0 in the tournament.
But that
is,
team,
like, insane.
that team
yeah.
was loaded.
Right, of course. But I'm just saying, like, the tournament, we talk about it.
It's more hard. Those guys usually don't come back after
Yeah,
they won the
I mean,
first.
getting them to come back.
Yeah.
It's
So
an interesting case because you wonder what would have happened. You got to think he would have got back to another one after, right?
I don't know. I just know that the NCAA tournament, like, the nature of it is, like Marty crying over here saying Duke's the best team, that it's that hard to win it.
Duke is not the best team.
They are the best team.
He's out of his mind.
They are.
He gets mad because
I want to go home. Would have said
I
that.
saw what this team was, and he gets mad at it.
So what do you
didn't
stand to
see-
win here? When did you bet Kansas?
First day of the season, and then it went up to 13-1 before the tournament. Like I'm talking about, everybody said Arizona, Gonzaga, Duke, love all these teams. Kansas drops. I'm like, give it to me again. So I'm holding 9 and 13.
What are your plays? What are you guys betting? I just put in a ton of action. So here's my plays. I was very good in Final Four. I took money line UNC. I took over 17.5 points, Caleb Love. Over 2.5 threes, Caleb Love. And then the big one, the Stephen Chase special, is over, what is it, 2.5 assists? For
2.5 assists for Christian Brown.
Christian Brown on Kansas. According to Stephen Shea, Math Geek, that basically is money in the bank.
By the way,
will see.
is Johnny Fanta here?
He should be.
Okay, so Marty, you want to hop off?
Yeah. I think
And then
Chase
we'll have
is
Johnny
about to.
Go through
What?
the matchup.
I think Chase is
There
about
he
to
is.
be here.
Marty,
When
do you want
Chase is here,
Marty
you
can
hop
stay on if
no,
you
no,
just
you
want
stay
to
on
be
because
sad.
we have Chase Rice coming too, and then you'll hop on.
Okay.
All right.
There is nothing.
What?
My expectations, to quote Michael Jordan, are like through the roof right now. Like
For
the
Johnny Fanta?
Fanta has been built up
Let's go,
by,
Johnny
by
Fanta.
Rico Bosco.
Yeah!
As the best.
Johnny
Never do it.
Fanta!
The best.
He's the best!
The best.
Johnny Fanta, the man.
What's going on? How are you?
Good to see
Nice to meet you.
Yes, good to see you, Johnny.
Tell Colin I'm uninterested. He didn't even make the final. Tell Colin I'm done.
Okay,
I think.
you're breaking up.
All right, so we have Johnny
She
Fanta
was the one who
here.
said marry me on the team.
We're sponsored by High Noon and Raising Cane's. Raising Cane's, the best chicken fingers in the world. One love. High Noon. We've been drinking all weekend. Johnny, we were just discussing. You're good for this discussion. If Bill Self wins tonight, where does it put him in like the rarefied air? Because we were saying the two makes a big difference when you're talking about Boeheim, Cal, Izzo, all these guys.
And no pressure, but I expect to be blown away by your answer.
Well, I
Because
think
Rico Bosco says you're the best to ever do it.
I think there's a level of pressure on Bill Self. In fact, I think there's more pressure on Bill Self tonight than there is Hubert Davis by a wide margin. Because Bill Self has not won a national championship in 14 years. And if you want to be in the blue blood category, you can't go over 14 years without a national championship. This is a night for the Kansas Jayhawks that they've been waiting for. In 2018, Villanova took it to them. In 2020, they had a team that could have won it all, and the season got robbed from them. This is Bill Self's night to seize this game. And this Kansas Jayhawks team, after putting together, I think, their best performance of the season on Saturday, my question isn't Carolina, the pressure that they dealt with Duke, can they be able to duplicate tonight? My question is, can Kansas be able to shoot the basketball as well as they did on Saturday?
They couldn't do that in an empty gym. I mean, what were they, 80% in the first half or something?
Crazy.
13-3.
Yeah. Nobody can do that, I don't think. What do you think? We had this early before you came on, Johnny Fanta. I love the double name, by the way, Johnny.
No, Johnny Fanta's great.
Have
Great
to
name.
mash it together.
Yeah. What's the name of the guy in Godfather, the singer?
Billy Fant. Yeah, the guy who played
Johnny Fontaine.
Johnny Fontaine. Yeah.
That's what I think of
Very
every
simple.
time.
Yeah, Sinatra.
Act like
too.
a man, Johnny Fanta.
Okay.
I think North Carolina's been widely disrespected because people still seemingly are like, and I don't even want to keep mentioning like Duke's better than North Carolina. I think North Carolina, if they play 100 times versus Duke, wins like 70 of them. I think they are better than Duke. So I think the 4-point spread here is ridiculous. Like, I think they're two dead equal teams. What are your thoughts?
I think that Carolina has been an underdog because people are identifying what they saw in December and January and the first part of February, and you can't do that when you define a team this time of year.
This guy's good.
They're the hottest team in college basketball. Make no mistake.
This guy's good.
I agree with you.
This
They're
guy's
better
good.
team than Duke.
And I got a question for Tar Heel fans. Where's Duke at?
Yeah.
Lay it on him, Johnny Fanta.
Take my Coach K fact.
Put it on him, Johnny Fanta. That's
Yes,
what you do.
Did you get a question in? Yeah, have a fry.
Eat, make yourself at home. I love it.
Did you get a question in to Coach K on Saturday night?
I actually asked the players the question about his
Oh,
legacy.
and they were the ones who said, "Oh, he never made it about himself this year."
That's
Did
correct.
you laugh when they said that?
I took another sip of my
Yes.
my drink
That was
and,
my
and kind
favorite.
of looked up. But no, make no mistake about it here.
Fix this.
Make no mistake about it here.
Here we go.
North Carolina, if they play their A game tonight, and that means that Caleb Love and R.J. Davis are coexisting, and Armando Bacot is 100%.
Which we saw
His mother said
The
yes.
hotel said
Mother
he's
said
blessed.
that's good.
The ankle's
I'm
blessed.
buying what Mrs. Bacot is drinking. I've got the Tar Heels.
Oh, Jonathan.
Man, no.
The Scotch Electric.
I'm on the same page as you. They've been wildly disrespected. There's this narrative they're going to have a letdown of some sort. I don't buy any of that.
I just think what happens is we end up looking at teams and saying, well, Kansas is better on paper than North Carolina. But that's not what this tournament is about.
Yep.
North Carolina is riding a wave right now. They really are. They're riding a Kemba Walker-like wave in 2011.
Johnny Fanta's talking me right into
here
you
right now.
Like, every word
right.
that you say makes me like want to lean closer and closer and be like, I love you. Now you've got me all screwed up. I love you, but I kind of hate you because I was so sure that I was going to bet in Kansas, take the alternate line, and you're pulling me closer and closer to you.
He's right, though, with the Kemba Walker analogy, too, because
Caleb Love.
Caleb Love and R.J. Davis, if you watch UNC all year, it was trick or treat. It was like some games they look like the worst backcourt in the country. Some games they look like the best. The last, month and a half, they've looked like the best pretty much every game.
And they're playing with confidence, and that's not going to go away in 2 days. They can't be more confident. Again, beating Duke the second time validates what they did the first time, and they're going to be playing with a load of confidence.
His major question was tonight, the matchups. Who's on Love and who's on Davis? You think
Did Dave ask that?
I asked Love because I was doing the 17 and a half
Got it.
total, which I
do we
took
think
over.
it's Harris or we think it's Brown on Love?
Probably Brown. Probably Brown on Love.
Is that good or bad?
And I don't know if that's
good.
a good.
I love that kid. That kid
I
does
think Brown
everything right.
plays with a high intensity, but
Big
here's the
time.
thing: it might not matter.
Right.
It might not matter. With Caleb Love, to me, showed everything about himself the other night when he goes scoreless for the first 15 minutes.
Yep.
Do you know how many players in college basketball allow that to define them? They then go in a gutter. They don't come out.
Mm-hmm.
He scores 28 points in the ensuing 25 minutes of basketball, and
He did it every way. He did it. He go into the hoop, threes, like everything.
Yeah, that team's just got it going on. And it's no disrespect to Kansas. I think Kansas is a team that could cut down the nets tonight. But the reason why I'm going with Carolina is this. Kansas, in their previous 3 games before Saturday, shot 13 for 44 from beyond the three-point arc. That is not good. They're not going 13 for 24 again tonight. DeJuan Harris is not knocking down 3 triples again tonight. I like the way the Tar Heels are balanced right now, and I think they have a chip on their shoulder because all tournament, they've been counted out.
Yeah.
They've been counted out.
And we got to get Johnny Fanta in the locker room for North
awesome.
Carolina.
Hubert Davis has shut everybody up. Everybody up.
Johnny, let me ask you another question.
I got a question for him after you. Very
Okay, all
important
right.
one at
So,
that.
Johnny, you've been in the business for a while now. You got colleagues, people you work with closely. Would you ever intentionally box out one of your colleagues to get a source or get not even a source, a conversation with someone?
Absolutely.
Oh, no.
I mean,
That's where it is.
I was a
Okay.
left guard in high school. Get low. This behind speaks for itself. You think this is going to get around you think anyone's getting around this? No shot in hell.
So that leads
Rebound the basketball.
that leads into my question. It's a great answer. So we've been at Barstool trying to build our college basketball presence, and you've got all these contacts. I don't want to tamper because tampering I know is not allowed, but we're looking to build this thing, and we're looking for a leader, somebody at the top of the pyramid. So I don't know how long you
run the
want
ball behind. Yeah.
We need a guy with that attitude. The me first. Let's get the sources and knows what they're talking about. And
Are you recruiting me in the layup line right now?
I am.
Yeah.
Right now we need a leader in the college basketball world.
Well,
I've always been a Johnny guy.
I will schedule a
great for the
summer.
team.
I will schedule a summer meeting with Terrence and company. and I
We don't do that.
No, he's got a
No,
pass.
I like this
He's
guy.
got a pass.
He's playing the
I
hits.
know what it is. Johnny's
He's
great.
playing the hits.
He's tight with the New York Post guys. I think the New York Post guys
Oh, yeah.
was saying needle him,
What-
because they want me out. They know if I throw a
Hey,
can.
hey, hey,
Oh, yeah,
hey,
this
hey,
big
whoa, 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 whoa.
conspiracy, yeah.
Keep your enemies closer.
Yes.
You know,
Let-
All right,
that whole
yeah.
approach.
Let me
If you had a pick, would you pick the typeboard hero, keyboard hero, or me?
What was the question?
Would you
There's a lot of that.
the keyboard warrior, Zach,
Keyboard warrior.
or me? Zach the typewriter, or me?
Gun to your head.
On your head.
I ride with Bosco.
Yeah.
Rico, now if we were able to lure him away, would you happily work underneath him?
You'd be the camera guy. You'd be his camera guy.
I said it all the time. If you made a name for yourself outside and you come to Barstool, as long as you don't say why we suck and you elevate yourself, Megan's a perfect example. Happy to bring her in. When you start hiring convicts who hate women, no fly list, I'm out on them. Johnny's a good guy. Bring him on the team.
One thing I like about Johnny is he's got the lapel pin for the Final Four.
I do like that.
Every word that he says carries more weight and
100%.
gravitas
Yes.
because he's got that pin going.
Yes.
A
I-
gravitas.
And an interchangeable
Yes.
men's warehouse jacket that
Yes.
could work at an AMC local theater
Yeah.
Yeah.
next week.
I guarantee it.
Burgundy-
I could
in.
take
I
you
love
to
Burgundy.
8C.
Wait,
I
so
love
Johnny, here's another question for New Orleans, like
Right.
Final Four. What's it like being sober all weekend? That's not a knock. You've been
I wouldn't
working.
know.
You were going out.
Yeah, no, I
I
wouldn't
saw
know.
you Saturday night at 2 a.m. I was fucking shit-faced. You were still working.
Saturday
You were
night I
grinding.
did not. Saturday night I did not go out.
Okay.
But the other nights,
Okay, all
yeah,
right,
we
good.
ran a couple of
Good,
marathons.
because you were
have
grinding.
to.
You were grinding on Saturday night. I was walking down the street. He's on a phone call.
Can we do a
at 2 in
fan?
the morning.
Can we do a fan vote right now?
Yeah.
Is there a better Final Four city than New Orleans?
Yeah. Which
Not.
you'd think Jayhawks fans wouldn't say that because the last 2 times they've been the runner-up.
It hasn't gone their way, but this is a night. Think about this for Kansas for a second. Let's face it, they're going to get hit with an NCAA penalty. I mean, it's only a matter of time. So for Kansas, I'm not saying that you don't know when your next round is
That's
that you
news
can win
to me.
it.
What'd they do?
But
Bill Self's
Same
got all
type of
kinds of
thing.
shit.
Yeah,
They have
he's
5
kinda
level
outrunning
one.
the law here.
They have
Remember
5
Bill
level
Self did
violations.
the Midnight Madness and he basically thumbed his nose at the NCAA and did like the stripper poles and the
I didn't
hash.
know the NCAA still penalized people in this
Oh,
day
yeah.
and age.
Yeah.
No, I'm serious. Like the recruiting, you can pay players, you can do whatever you want openly. Like what kind of penalty can you get?
Yeah,
now?
what is it exactly? Tell us.
Well, he's a master of the penalty system, right?
Well, I am. I just know that if I was in charge of a college program, my rule would be to say nothing ever to anybody in the investigation. It's very hard for
But
them
what
to prove
what are they
wrongdoing.
under
Yeah,
investigation
tell us what they're under
for?
investigation
Well,
for.
Should be illegal.
I don't know the exact specifics of it, but I know it's level 1 violations, 5 of them. I mean,
Which
but-
means what? You paid a guy, but
Yeah,
you can
they-
pay a guy now.
Yeah, they
So they
They
still
did it before it's legal.
That's crazy.
It was that whole, you remember that?
Everyone's
They were
doing
part of the
it.
same
I know
documentary,
who.
right?
Look,
I agree. Who cares?
I'm not disagreeing, but Kansas fans, you know.
Louisiana, don't care.
Okay,
There we go.
get that, but you know that tonight's a big night. I mean, the fact is, we don't know what the result of that is going to be, and it likely is going to be serious based on a couple of the
Is
recent
he in the
ones.
same
It's
thing
a
as
good
Will
point.
Wade? Is that the same kind of?
We're talking 4 or 5. I mean, it could hurt them for a year or 2, meaning you don't know when your next best opportunity to win
Right,
national title
right.
is.
So I appreciate you coming on here because you kind of raised the stakes a little bit in terms of what this Final Four is for. You've said that like this is Kansas's opportunity to prove their blue blood status, but it's also like potentially the end of their blue blood window.
It's Bill Self blue blood stats. Kansas is a blue blood. Period.
Yeah.
Whether they win, lose, draw tonight.
Kansas is a blue blood, period, but you have to be able to remind the nation why you are that from time to time.
Right.
And tonight is their opportunity to do that. The
Let 'em
fact
know.
is, if Carolina fans, and I have a deep theory here, Carolina fans, you now feel so much better about Hubert Davis than you did 2 months ago. Okay? Okay. Let's just say, I have a twisted theory here. Let's just say that John Shire with Duke, I know you don't like them, but let's say that they have a very nice year next year. Guess who the pressure goes on then? It's a trickle-down effect in college basketball. It goes on Kentucky.
Yeah. No,
It does.
Kentucky is what you just said about Kansas. Kentucky's feeling the exact
Same
same
way.
thing because Cal has not they're obviously there in 15. They win in 12, but it's now getting to a decade where they have not won another title.
Yeah, you have to be able to win no matter the circumstances when you're at blue blood level, and that means winning championships. The fact is, college basketball has changed. We had a world where Baylor is the national champion, where Virginia is the national champion, where Villanova wins 2 on the last 5 national titles. That's not the world we lived in 15 years ago in this sport. It's a bit refreshing. You have different brands and different coaches. The gap has closed because there's 1,100 transfers, and you could hit goal with one of them. But are the Blue Bloods still king? They've shown it that they are in this Final Four. Which one's going to take the throne tonight?
Yeah.
Who's going to take
Johnny! This guy's good, Rico.
Yeah, Rico, good job.
This guy's good.
job,
The whole crowd up there.
He's cutting promos for this Final Four.
It's a great job addition.
Getting everyone pumped.
Would you work underneath him?
I would.
All right, that's the team player.
That is.
Dave, are there, I don't want you to do this, but are there trades? Could you do, trades?
Ooh.
I mean,
Bosco and a bag of balls?
I didn't say that.
No,
I didn't say it was Rico. I just said
won't do that.
hypothetically.
I won't. I'm not going to get engaged. This is an invaluable member of the team.
Yeah.
Big 3.
And let me tell you, your season arc, your college basketball season arc, you are the North Carolina of the college basketball season. In January, you're at the end of my bench.
Yeah, well, he's not even on the bench.
No, you're in the bench.
He couldn't come to the game.
Right.
Yeah, he couldn't be in the arena.
They got the death penalty.
Yeah.
He had the death penalty halfway.
For a month.
That was your violation.
For a month.
You do know.
Yeah, he was.
You do know who I picked preseason, right?
Who'd you pick?
Kansas. After last year, I had some tough,
I'll give you credit, Bosco, because we did give you a lot of shit for Gonzaga last year.
It's a great
You
pick.
have had Kansas all along.
Need it.
All along.
Need it.
So that is credit to
Who
you.
did Marty have?
Duke.
Duke.
Well, of course he did.
But he may just have Duke every year.
Yeah, no, he does.
Well, his stuff about that Kansas has had an easy road.
Well, they have.
They kind of have. In the tournament,
Relatively
they have.
in that they got Creighton, who lost their starting center
Correct.
before the game. And then they get Villanova without Justin Moore.
Right.
So
and they get Miami, and they get,
Providence.
Right. So we said it before you got here. That was, when we looked at the bracket, that was by far the softest.
But also,
But
nobody
then
believer
said,
in
I
these
love
Rose.
Kansas.
Yeah, because
They
Carolina
still
faced
were
St.
picking.
Peter's.
Yeah.
That now easy.
Carolina
win.
Kansas had an easy bracket, and they were still picking against Kansas.
I'm just saying how it broke out. It was, you could make the argument, and I mean, it partially hurts me. Auburn was the last 2 seed. Wisconsin was the last 3 seed. Providence the last 4 seed. That's just how it worked out.
But that's a tournament. I mean, there is an element you have an easy run till somebody you don't think knocks you out. Then your run's not easy. And Kansas has looked great. But Carolina's look great. This game, the spread should be a pick 'em. I have no idea how they are -4. I don't get that.
Well, they have that because Kansas really commanded Villanova at the end of the day and has controlled their way through this run. So that's why they have
yeah, but Johnny
But
Fanta.
I think they're wrong.
Yeah, but if Duke won it, it would be a pick 'em.
But bingo. No question
Yeah.
about it. They're looking at the seed lines. They're looking at the fact that Carolina's had inconsistencies. But guess what, Tar Heel fans? Carolina's had no inconsistencies in this NCAA tournament. Stop basing the line off what you think a team is. Start basing the line off what a team has been in this NCAA tournament.
So Johnny, what about the over/under for tonight? That's been in dispute.
Shot making is going to be really good, I think. I don't think that... I hate when people are like, oh, it's their legs. They go second game in 3 days. They're 18 to 22, 23-year-old kids.
Agree.
Who played AAU all summer with 6 games a day.
I think
for
both
their whole
teams
lives.
are gonna try to run.
This is going to be open floor.
Yeah, because
Which means
Villanova,
easy
Kansas wants to run.
Yes.
Villanova stops that, and I think both teams will be like, hey, you want to run? Let's run.
I honestly think the biggest factor in the game, we've talked about the shooting, everything, is Baycott, and if he can stay out of foul trouble.
What do you think about
Because
that?
they got the 2 bigs at Kansas, and they could if he gets in foul trouble, I don't know what
Was he hobbling, and also did
not injury. I think fouls is an issue.
Yeah, that's true.
You have a Coach K theory?
Well, Dave actually brought it up, and it was a good point. When Coach K went up and congratulated Baycott, did he step on Baycott's ankle? Is that going to happen?
He's a veteran. The cameras are
he knows.
level high.
Can I
a little
give you guys,
stomp.
that wasn't my favorite moment of the hallway on Saturday night. My favorite moment was the ride-off.
Oh,
golf
you're
cart.
gross, Johnny.
But him, no. Him going.
Oh, moonlighting.
Hey, now.
Is it?
I actually like it. I think we look better now.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Oh.
is him looking at a bunch of reporters.
I love it, going in and out.
saying-
What are we doing here, Pete?
Oh, is he trying to tell me we should take a break?
Oh,
I think
that-
so.
take a break.
Yeah,
Okay,
right, finish us.
Fucking Pete.
Coach K looking at all the reporters and saying, "Thank you, guys," and a select handful looking and going, "No, thank you, Coach."
Oh,
that was
God.
that was great.
You better not
After the
have
game,
done
they
that.
said,
Well, that's
All
always
right,
cool.
good.
Pete, we know, buddy.
Yeah, we'll finish up with Johnny Fanta. There's no breaks for Johnny
Who's
Fanta.
that
going to
was
crown
like
the
the-
champion tonight?
Yeah.
That was like the Oscars with music.
yeah.
They're playing it off stage.
Johnny, thank you so much. We appreciate it. You're a
Rico,
legend.
you got to study that game tape, the way he controlled the crowd.
He did. He had the crowd in the palm of his hand.
What do you give me a look for?
Fair.
That's just a coach giving tips.
Yeah, he's pumped
Get
up
the
guy.
game tape
He's
out.
also a huge DJ's guy.
Hey,
Maybe that'll slow you to come down.
Bench Mob is an elite show. Jake Marsh is terrific. Marty's terrific. Rico's terrific. And you guys
number's
are
been on.
terrific.
He can do this all day.
Yeah, I know.
Pumping everyone up.
I love
Grab me.
Johnny, thank you.
You're the
We're
best.
taking a
Johnny,
quick break,
finish.
everyone. We'll be back. I think we got Tyler Hansbrough coming in.
Yeah.
So it should be great.
Thanks. Enjoy the game. Thank you so much.
Все. Идем. На!
Hasbulla. When you look in the mirror, what do you see?
Себя уже.
Hasbulla Magomedov is a 19-year-old international phenomenon. Born in the Russian village of Aksha, Hasbulla now resides in the city of Makakala in the Republic of Dagestan. Over the last 2 years, his infectious laugh, vibrant spirit, and raw power have taken the world by storm. But never has he sat down for an intimate one-on-one interview. That is, until today. What did you want to be when you were little?
Либо дальнобойщик, либо перекупщик. Бизнес. Машины нравятся, и там можно, если как дозволенный двигаешься, хорошие бабки поднять.
What do you like so much about cars? You like driving them, riding in them, looking at them?
Наворачивают, и боком ездит, и звук делают, там, чтобы нормально кричало. И с кайфом ездит.
You like life on the wild side. Hasbulla's love for cars raises the obvious question. You ever seen the movie?
Huh?
Cars?
Америку не смотрю,
You too big for cartoons?
потому что я взрослый уже.
I'm an adult. I like cars, the movie.
А значит, у тебя мозги не взрослые.
Although his taste in movies may be mature, his love for itty-bitty little tiny baby kittens is as pure as a child's.
И у меня есть дома барсики. И я хотел бы его привезти в Дубай, показать ему Дубай.
What is it about cats that you like so much?
Я не знаю, что, почему, но мне кошка нравится. Это трос завязать и по Дубаю по парку ходить, там Бурдж-Халифа.
However, Hasbulla's feline friends do create one predicament. You like cats better than dogs?
Кошка.
What do you say to people who say that's a red flag?
Мне на людей это пофиг. То, что они думают и говорят.
It's true. Hasbulla doesn't give a rat's ass about what anyone says about him. Maybe that's because he knows when it's time for action, nobody's doing nothing.
Я опасный, когда для меня плохое, кто-то что-то делает.
Anyone who has followed Hasbulla for any length of time knows that he does, in fact, keep that thing on him.
How did you develop your passion for weaponry?
Оружие когда-то известное было, я с собой всегда нож таскал. Я, кто мне плохого не делает, я тому ничего не делаю, а когда мне плохое делают, я им делаю. А так они, когда у меня нож бывает, ничего не говорят.
You got a knife on you right now?
Нету. У меня уже нож нету, у нас уже со мной люди, братья есть. Вместо ножа.
Even if he isn't currently carrying guns and knives, that doesn't mean he's unarmed.
Do you consider your hands weapons?
Я бить и драться умею. Я точно могу, кто мне плохое делает, им плохо делать.
But what's the origin of his combat education?
How did you learn how to fight?
Я когда мне на улице начал кто-то драться, и с ним дрался, и сам себя научил.
And his self-taught ways have been enough.
How many asses have you whooped?
Нет, их много.
We could only wish he was lying.
Would you consider yourself an expert?
Of Abdurrahman Ismail.
If there's anyone in the world who's likely to catch Hasbulla's hands, it's one Abdu Rozik. Rozik lives with the same condition as Hasbulla, but that does not necessarily mean that they are built the same. At one point, a headlining fight between the two was taking shape, but it has since fallen through. However, that hasn't stopped Abdu Rozik from continuing to antagonize Hasbulla.
Abdu Rozik has a message for you. He sent it to me, but he has a message for you. He wanted me to play you today.
Hasbulla, when you come to Dubai, my home, call me if you need a translator. Он себя, когда я здесь свой, он ничего не делает. А когда я домой или на расстоянии ухожу, говорит, а когда глаз на глаз видит, он просто молчит, вот так стоит, боится. В следующий раз я увижу, и всем людям обещаю, что я либо ему нормально боковой дам, или по шее дам.
Big talk from Hasbulla, but is it true?
He said that you're the one who's ducking him.
Yeah?
This is another video he sent me.
Hello guys, I know Ronaldo. I don't need Hasbulla. Hasbulla chicken. Only talking. Clone.
Clown, maybe, but maybe not.
So who's ducking who? Who's ducking who? Are you ducking him or is he ducking you at the end of the day?
Давай так сделаем. Один комнату загоните меня и Абдурозика. Дальше кто победит, тот выскочит обратно. А кто там уже лежать будет кто-то.
But until this closet match happens, both Hasbulla and Rozik will continue to build their inner circles. And someone in Rozik's inner circle happens to be the most famous man in the world.
А мне на Роналду реально пофиг есть. Я чем Роналду известен. Он только умеет намочить это паста вот и все.
At the end of the day, Hasbulla claims he doesn't care about Ronaldo or Rozik.
Я ему много раз предупреждал, то, что его бить не хочу, и я как считаю клоуна его, и оставляю, уже он начинает там, я уже когда увижу так, не оставляю, я обещаю, то, что людям я его пору.
It is still to be determined whether that promise made will one day become a promise delivered.
Ну, уже хватит на этого сопляка время тратить. У нас здесь многие вопросы есть, на них будем отвечать.
Let's move on.
At Hasbulla's insistence, we moved the conversation away from Rozik. However, it still seemed to be on Hasbulla's mind.
Are you still thinking about Abdu Rozik right now?
просто хочу его побить. Так крови.
If Hasbulla is to follow through on this litany of promises, he better be preparing as much as he is talking.
Hasbulla, tell me about your training regimen.
Нет, я последнее время начал отдыхать сильно и кайфовать. А это... у меня желания нету тренироваться. Если мужчина есть, он в любое время готов должен драться. Ни на тренировку ходить, ни туда, а всегда должен готов быть на старте. Вся моя жизнь это если тренировка.
No weights? No nothing?
You don't like the pump iron?
Я не люблю тяжело поднимать, я сам себе тяжело.
A philosophy that could have some serious consequences.
Do you ever worry that your guns will get small?
Не, я просто сам по себе тяжелый.
You're jacked.
Да.
As every great fighter does, Hasbulla possesses extreme self-confidence. But that doesn't mean he's without distractors.
What do you say to people who say, Hasbulla can't fight at all? It looks like an amateur.
Давай я прохожу.
I believe you. Hey, I'm not saying I said it. I'm saying, what do you think about people who said that?
Ты же сам своего языка сказал это мне.
Huh?
А? Оно мороженое дайте сюда. О, shit. О, shit. Ну. Абдурозов, еще показать, я как умею трахать.
Hasbulla's natural disposition is eerily similar to another superhero.
Have you ever seen the movie The Hulk? You haven't? Okay, we'll move on. Sometimes I feel like you should watch that movie.
Hasbulla's ability to rapidly transform from intelligent conversationalist to violent combatant is what separates him from the rest. But could it also be his Achilles heel?
What's your greatest weakness?
Когда это люди там начинают писать грязные вещи, я сразу отвечаю и начинаю с ним базарить, хэпишевать. Ну, я люблю это хэпиш.
You have anger problems.
Когда мне оскорбляют там плохие вещи, пишут, я злюсь, а когда не пишут, я нормальный пацан.
Describe to me what it feels like when you get angry. What does it feel like? What is the feeling in your body?
У меня внутри себя, я сам не знаю, как злюсь, но это начинает. Когда им говоришь местоположение, они не могут скинуть.
If there is any force in this world great enough to take down Hasbulla, it is a force that exists within.
Do you worry that your ultimate downfall will be your temper? Do you ever worry that your temper could negatively impact your rise to stardom?
Я как есть, я вот такой есть. Не переживай.
Hasbulla Magomedov is a juggernaut. Self-proclaimed more famous than Ronaldo, extreme sports and weapons enthusiast, cat lover, expert fighter, and overall badass, he's only getting started. However, even at this early stage, one can't help but wonder what's to come for this human wrecking ball.
What does the future hold for Hasbulla? What's next?
Хотел бы открыть свой известный бизнес, и чтобы нормальные деньги зарабатывал, и потом помогать тем людям, которые нуждаются в помощи. А так хотел бы еще стать министром МВД Дагестана и двигаться чисто с кортежем туда-сюда, вверх-вниз. Честно.
If you were able to accomplish that goal, what changes would you make?
Я изменил бы своих хейтеров, нашел бы и город на уши поднял бы. И чуть это порядок сделал бы.
And that's not all.
По городу меньше, а по трассе большую скорость и полный бункер машин разрешал бы. И, нет, впереди бункер, сзади это убрал пленки и без номеров. Я поменял бы, убрал бы камеры, когда которые, когда нарушаешь, снимают. А так перед глазами, когда нарушение увидел бы, вот тогда я это оформил бы. А так еще, которые Криси Бойджи фоткают, когда нарушение делаешь, снимают и отправляют к главному. Их тоже убрал бы.
You're a good man. Thank you, Hasbulla.
Thank you.
All right, we're back. We're back. We're back live at Walk-On's Barstool Live, and we got a very special guest. The man, the myth, the legend, Tyler Hansbrough, Psycho T. Do you like it when people call you Psycho T?
I'm used to it.
Okay.
Doesn't bother me one bit.
Yeah, I mean, you're Psycho T.
I've heard worse.
That's a legendary thing. And we also, Rico, would you like to ask him the question you asked in the break?
People didn't hear this, but he sat down, Rico introduced himself. He goes, are you going to the game tonight? An all-time Bosco question.
Some guy, I mean, he might want to watch the game, hear the commentary. I'm just making sure he's going to the game. All right.
You think he's gonna come here and he's like, I'm gonna go back to my hotel room and watch it while I'm laying in bed?
It literally is one question
1%
away from like, what are you in town?
Yeah, right. Right. Anything cool going on tonight?
Yeah.
All right, why don't you follow up with a good question?
How do you feel about tonight?
A-plus stuff.
That's it right there.
Well, no,
Johnny
I mean,
Fanta would never do that.
No, it's obviously, like we talked about it, Carolina, you could say huge win, obviously, against Duke. Is it like a letdown spot? How do you get geared up with these kids in 2 days preparation for a national championship after a monster win?
Well, I don't know if it's about getting geared or just kind of, recovery, get a little rest, make sure your body's right. But, I will say, that was not an ordinary win. I mean, to beat Duke in the Final Four, I know Marty was a little upset about it.
He's still so
sad.
And,
Duke's a good team, but, we grew more than any team probably in the NCAA this year, and we're a hell of a team now.
Yeah.
And so I'm fired up. I'm excited. I'm happy for the players, more importantly, and a chance to win a national championship. That's what it's about. It's not about K. It's way bigger than
yes.
It's way bigger than K, whether Duke fans think that or not.
I don't know if I'm on, but it's about
the
K.
The thing I love about Tyler is, like, he still really, really hates
Well, I actually had a question for that.
I love that.
Like, Dan Leader, the brigade, which yes.
Well, here's Dave. Let me tell you this. I gave Tyler one of them, and he goes, "What's this?" I was like, "It's fact sheets about how big of a scumbag Coach K is." And he goes, "You got any more of those?"
Yeah. So, do you truly hate him and Duke?
I never really hated Duke. I respected him. But for some reason this year, I've really disliked him, and I don't know if it's about the K going around and needing everybody. I mean, he's good enough. He doesn't need everyone to tell him you're good. And I just feel that way. And I felt like it was like a thank you tour instead of, let's go win some ball games.
Yes.
And
you also had fake blood every time you played.
Oh,
blood always on your face.
Wait, what was the story?
Always on your face.
He told a very good.
You're a piece of shit.
He told a very good story on the podcast. He gets elbowed, dirty play.
Wait, why don't we let him tell it?
Yeah, Gerald Henderson.
He is right here.
You just tapped me.
No, I tapped you.
Gerald Henderson hit
No,
with
no,
the
no,
elbow.
no, no.
Yeah, he's
Let
here.
him tell it.
So do we want to hear the story from Tyler or from Rico?
Tell him what Krzyzewski said, Tyler.
So I got my face shattered. Gerald Henderson, cheap shot. And, well, that's not an unknown fact. And so after the game, the press conference, Kay said, you know, the real victim here is Gerald. And I said, well, how in the hell is that the real victim? And that pissed me off. But, you know, I had a lot of respect for Kay. But, you know, he's done some questionable things, just like we all have.
Yeah.
And, but, you know, that kind of heated it up a little bit to think that Gerald was the real victim. But, you know, hey.
And I think
Never apologized either, right?
Gerald?
No. Krzyzewski.
No, I didn't need an apology.
No, I'm gonna get.
And I also think if you're saying this publicly, behind closed doors with your friends, you must despise him because you're going in, and this is like a public, could be quoted, behind closed doors, you must hate him. I also do think there's a chance he comes back because he's that big of an egomaniac.
I don't think it's his last season. It might have been his last game, and I think there's a reason. You know, Shire. I mean, he feels like he would have a good amount of say on what the program does. I wonder if he's keeping his office. I mean, he's got a penthouse suite over there at Duke.
Yeah, you hate him.
You hate him.
I'm Tyler's staring at me while he's saying
it. That's a great line. It was his last game. It wasn't his last season.
Yeah,
I was like trying to do the math in my head.
And
like,
Dan, you should be on that with the cleaning crew to figure out who's got an office, still there.
Yeah,
last time he logged in, stuff
Shire,
like that. Yeah.
He's going to mold him. He needs his office there. He's just going to keep giving his input. Wouldn't you want the greatest input?
Here, you know what? Let's stop talking about cake because that's all he wants. He wants us to talk about. Let's talk about North Carolina. Unbelievable season. I actually have a non-basketball related because I have a theory that there's at least like 20% of the North Carolina fan base just goes to North Carolina because the colors are so awesome. How much of your wardrobe is just Carolina blue?
A good amount of it. I would say probably, if we're putting a percentage on it, 75.
Yeah, that's all I would wear. I'd wear Carolina blue every day.
We have the greatest uniforms in sport. I don't care what it says. The Carolina blue uniform is the best
for basketball. Football, it comes across, you can run the ball down your throat.
Yeah, that's true. It's soft in football.
Basketball, it works. Football, it's like we can just grind this team to death.
He's right.
I still like the unis in football. We may not be good, but hey, they look good.
That is direct. You can't. I don't think you can win in powder blue in football.
Yeah, you can't.
I honestly don't.
No, you can't go like on a Saturday night. You can't go to Clemson in like early November with powder blue and expect to win.
You know, we may expect that, but whether that's reality or not, you know, that's a different story.
But you answer my question. You wear it all the time. Like, I would never wear any other color. It is the best color.
Yeah, I mean, when I first got to Carolina, I was like, man, everything's Carolina blue. Fire trucks are Carolina blue. The urinals are Carolina blue. And I was like, you know what? Maybe that's a touch too much.
That's a little much. You don't pee on
you know, I've seen you in the blue enough. To be honest, the dark blue.
This is no coincidence, by the way, that he's wearing just camo today.
Yeah, you look like you're wearing a skin suit.
I also only have Duke stuff. I thought we were going to play him today.
That's
the only
exactly
thing
the
I
point.
had.
That is an absolute coward move.
Yes.
No,
like you're saying you had enough Duke stuff, but you're not wearing it.
I saw Duke.
That is a coward move.
Yeah.
You wear your colors.
Slandered
Yeah, you
for
wear
2
your
days.
you wear your colors when you lose.
I wore it yesterday.
Yes.
I wore it yesterday.
What about
at
right
Canes
now?
Because I was done getting slandered. I have a weak brain.
Did you play any craps with Roy Williams this weekend?
I didn't.
Okay.
No.
He loves the craps table.
Yeah, he's a late night guy. He was probably down there.
Here, push that a little closer. These mics are the worst mics in the game.
Yeah. I mean, he's a big craps guy. You know, it's a little too much for me, but you know, he was probably there late night.
Yeah.
He's a 12 to 2 guy. He gets up early, so you know, I wouldn't be surprised if anybody saw him late night.
Who are you going to the game with tonight? Who are you still tight with that you like, are hanging out with?
Bunch of teammates. I'm going with Bobby Frazier.
Yep.
You know, Dewey Burke, and then we got Marcus Ginyard. Danny Green may be in the house. He's a great one.
Played against him in high school.
Thanks, Rico.
So he
must. I'm sure that went well for him.
We beat him. We're undefeated. We beat him. They were 25-0. We beat them.
Were you a clipboard guy?
You think MJ's gonna be here tonight?
He's got it.
You had to guess because you also MJ was your boss for a little bit, right?
Do you have access to him? If you're like, I need to talk to him for whatever reason, can you get in touch with him?
I could probably get in touch with them. Whether they put me in touch with them, I mean, it'd have to be a serious situation. Yeah, he's not an easy guy to get a hold of.
That's what I would assume not.
Yeah, I would have to go through multiple people to get in touch with him.
But when he was your boss, when you were on the Hornets, like, did he ever have like a little twinkle in his eyes, like, there's my Carolina guy?
That's with every Carolina player.
Yeah.
That's a great thing about Carolina. You guys say the brotherhood, but we've been doing the family thing forever.
Yes.
And,
the brotherhood is so
I love how much you hate.
Yes. And the
it's
best
like,
part
I
was he's like,
respect
no.
them, they're all right.
Time you
And
say
now
something,
it's just
just
pot
look
shot after pot shot after pot shot.
Great. It's great.
No, I mean, we have the family. We've had the family before the brotherhood, and we don't do the publicity or talk about it as much as Duke does. But, you know, there's no closer program out there than UNC. I mean, you talk about, I don't know Vince Carter. When I got to the NBA, I lined up to him at the free throw line. He was asking me how I was doing. Rasheed Wallace, you know, the same thing. And we talk about Phil Ford, all those guys. And it's the greatest program out there. The closeness, the tightness. And MJ, you know, when he saw me, he dapped me up. I hadn't had many conversations with MJ. I tell you, I watched him as a kid. You come in there and you see MJ, and he's walking over, dapping you up, asking how you're doing. That's a great moment.
Yeah, hell yeah. So you said before you're still playing. You're gonna go play overseas.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. I've been over in China, but right now I've been rehabbing a little bit, and I'm getting ready. I'm gonna go down to Puerto Rico, play for a few months, and probably go play overseas somewhere next year.
Nice.
I'm excited.
Nice. That's awesome. I mean,
It's a basketball
all his life. Yeah.
Yeah, I love basketball.
How's the? Have you kept in touch with Frank and Spencer? And the, what was it, the conglomerate?
The conglomerate?
They used to just buy scratch tickets, like a bunch of them together.
Yeah,
I forget how it went. Tell us how it went.
So one night, me, Frank, Spencer, and Marvin Williams were outside a restaurant, and Marvin had bought a bunch of scratch-offs. And he won some money, and I was like, man, that's a great idea. Let me get the per diem going. And so I had talked some of the guys into, you know, having a core group on the plane. I was like, listen, there's a Stanford math teacher that's won like the scratch-off lottery ticket like 3 times. I was like, this thing is beatable. And so I had gotten a good amount of money, you know, maybe about, you know, $7,000 or whatever of just like per diem of some of these NBA guys, you know, me, Frank, Spencer, Marvin. And me and Spencer, we'd go to these like weird, you know, these gas stations kind of, you know, in these, you know, bad neighborhoods, and we'd buy the whole roll. And we'd sit there and we'd put them under the machine and we'd win. And if it was under 500, we had to run it back into the system. And so we just keep buying until we hit big. And, you know, obviously it kind of ended, but if you wanted to join, there was an initiation fee because we've been doing it for a long time. You just can't come in midway through the process.
Yeah.
And, you know, we never won big, but
literally, like
the story.
What
the confidence of like we broke the system.
I was listening like with bated breath because that sounds like we've had so many conversations. Like I think we got this thing cracked.
Yeah,
It can be beat.
We broke Vegas.
Like literally pencils, everything, and you never win. The only time I've seen Elio mad in his life during like he couldn't figure out a soccer 3-way tease. It had his mind broken.
Would you guys just scratch like the barcode? You wouldn't even be actually looking, right?
Nah, you know, if you're a true vet at the scratch off, you don't even try to look at the whole algorithm. You just go right for the barcode, right for the machine, and it'll save you a lot of heartache. And the rush is really good too.
I've had that thought though before, like if I buy the whole roll, but then you got to remember that the lottery always wins.
No.
I mean, it is.
Come on.
Yeah, what are we doing?
What are you talking about? You think?
Yeah,
Hey,
I know. I've had this.
Trust.
I've done this.
Listen, we knew we were against the odds, but the feeling that you get thinking you got that ticket, it's worth it. And, you know.
That's why I wake up every day.
Yeah,
I'm going to beat them.
Conglomerate. A special group of guys.
I've never been a scratchy guy. Do you bet on any, like, sports? Like you bet tonight?
No, I don't bet on the Tar Heels. Last time I placed a bet was in Vegas against Kentucky. That didn't work out. So ever since then, I don't bet on the Tar Heels. Now I'll bet on games where I think there's some, you know, I got a good chance and I feel a certain way. I'll make that bet, but never on the Tar Heels. Emotions never really helped me with gambling.
Rico, do you want to ask Tyler who he's got tonight?
Yeah, I'm going to ask him that. The matchups tonight, both teams loaded. Which one do you think Carolina has the best advantage with? Is it one of the guards? Can they start to get McCormack in foul trouble? Like, which way Carolina going to win this game?
You know, the McCormack and Baycott matchup I'm really excited about. McCormick's real big. But the one matchup I'm really looking forward to is Abaji and Leaky Black. Leaky Black's one of the best defenders, in my opinion, in the ACC. Abaji, in my opinion, is the best player in college. So that's going to be fun to watch. But who do I have tonight? I have Carolina, 78-71. That's a score prediction.
No surprise.
Oh, wow.
That's what I'm
Wait,
calling.
no.
That's an
Gotta go
underball.
more. We got
got the overs club.
We got
The over
the
150.
How about
Throwing extra
Carolina
three.
82, Kansas 74?
I'll go 82-86. That's what my buddy said.
So 86-82.
Carolina.
UNC.
That's what
I
I'm
love
going
that.
with.
That's
I'll
an
take
easy
the over.
over.
Yep.
That's an easy over.
What, on a different question, I guess, I don't know if it's an obvious answer because MJ, but he wasn't MJ. What do you think the best Carolina team of all time is?
2009. Team I played on, Ty Lawson, Wayne Ellington, Danny Green, myself, Dion. We had Ed Davis coming off the bench. Tyler Zeller was on the team. You know, all pros right there. We were pretty talented, but if you're asking me, that team. But looking back, James Worthy, Michael
Worthy and Jordan.
05 team was fucking good,
Loaded.
too.
05 team
They
was
killed
good.
everyone.
That is a big debate, but if I'm being honest, you know, I got to go with my team.
Do you guys bust balls to get when you're like together? I don't know how often that is. Like our team beat your team.
Listen, it is a big debate, but the 2017 team is definitely the least talented, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And so they never really make it to the table. But it's 05 versus 09 for sure. You could throw in Worthy, Jordan, their team.
05, because I remember Wisconsin played 05 UNC in the Elite Eight, and that was the closest game they played. We lost by 8. That was the closest game they played in the tournament.
Yeah.
They just killed everyone.
Yeah,
And they beat that really good Illinois team.
Yeah, Big May went on a run there. Big May, assistant coach.
Were you talking trash to him the other day?
Sean May?
Yeah, I thought you were. No?
No.
Oh, I
it's
just said he had to
today.
go a size up.
I thought I saw him in a video talking shit.
Oh, he
Maybe
probably
Sean
was.
May?
Yeah,
Yes.
you were.
I don't think so.
Might have been me.
Oh,
Sorry,
it was
Marty.
you. You scum.
It's Sean May's birthday today,
Yeah,
too.
you
I think
scum.
Carolina playing
Wait, it's his
tonight.
birthday today?
How'd you know that?
You just scrolled it across the screen.
Sean May's birthday?
Happy birthday, Sean May.
He's
That's
assistant coach.
gotta help.
Listen, I'm on Carolina. I think it's crazy that
I
they're
had to
catching
tell you that
points.
when I saw it
Yeah.
on Pardon My Take.
Yeah. Do you have anything else? Last thing for Marty, because Marty keeps claiming that Duke's the better team.
They are.
And they
not.
played 3 games.
not. This is why
UNC
you-
beat 2.
Yeah, but UNC could
not.
beat Duke 10 straight, and he'd still say Duke is better.
You know that Paolo's better than the entire team. So is AJ Griffin. They got lucky. Fucking Maddox, 74 years
I
old.
would make you an argument that Mark Williams is their best player. And, I will say
think
that
so.
the game comes easy, but for 40 minutes, they're not the best team. That's all that matters. And you could say they're the best team on paper, but, hey, when it's time to play and you got to show up, they didn't.
They didn't play
So-
together great either.
Mark Williams
And-
played
and
5 minutes
both-
first half.
Both games, though. Yeah, but that was irrelevant. Both games, 5 minutes to go, the game was up for grabs, and Carolina played much better in the last 2 games down the stretch.
Boys, hitting
Yes.
free throws.
Yeah.
Those
The
things
free
matter.
The free
Making
throws
free
were
throws
bad.
matter.
They were bad, but then you have fucking Rico just being like, "Oh, they got 3 coming," and they went in. So that's
Yeah,
what
he's
done.
mad because I knew Caleb Love was going to hit the
Well,
dagger
and
3.
you celebrated.
I did not
Duke.
celebrate. I
Hey,
said,
you're
of
Duke
course.
fan, you celebrated.
I said, of
Anytime you've
course.
been sad, have you stood up when like
In the
this?
history of being devastated, nobody, like in a big moment, he stood as opposed to fell. that
Next
has
to me,
never happened
who I
ever.
fell.
Everybody falls. If you get a big shot, big moment, you fall. That's just human nature. You rose. It makes no sense
That's a
unless
fact.
you're happy.
I don't make a lot of sense, so that makes
We
sense.
know.
That is true.
Yeah,
but
I'm
I'm
an
not
opposite
giving you
guy.
that.
I'm an
not
opposite
Don't
giving
make a
you
lot of
that.
sense. My last question for you, Tyler. Do you think you are the most hated UNC player
Oh,
from the
good
Duke
question.
perspective? Because
Most-
everyone always has Christian Layton, JJ Redick, Grayson Allen. I would argue that Duke fans would probably hate you the most.
You think so, Marty?
Yeah,
Would you agree with that?
hated you, man. I still don't like you.
It's a
Yeah,
valid
but-
question.
But it was also like a respect thing, too, because you were
Yeah.
so talented. It
Yeah.
was like, we want that guy. Like,
Duke, though, you'd be despised.
Yeah, you would hate Tyler. Yeah,
You'd be
yes.
You'd be on the elite list of players
Yes.
you
I would never
despise.
do that, though.
Yeah.
I'm a country kid from Mills, Missouri. I would never go to a private school with a bunch of uppity northern kids. That's where I'm from, that would never be a thing. So
Didn't you beat us 5 times?
I think you're leaving out 6. So yeah, Fort Cameron.
I love how you started this with that.
That was also when
I've
Duke
had
stepped.
it, Duke.
I knew right away when I gave him the Coach K facts. He's like, you got any more of those?
Yeah. And it is the
That was
fan
the
base.
dark days at Duke when they had Greg Paulus, who was a walking fucking turnover. So it was no surprise you won 6 out of 8.
Yeah, Paul's, we were really talented too. Maybe my freshman year when you guys had JJ and Sheldon,
Yep.
and we weren't, the most talented team. You guys probably should have won that one. But, hey, we won.
You don't think about it at all. Of
Yeah.
course, you love them.
And
you
Saturday night, you must have been so relieved.
Saturday night was a great night.
Yeah.
I mean, it was, Marty, I'm sorry, man. It was.
Well, you're not.
Well, I stood on my seat and I waved. Made sure everybody said, I knew you guys were leaving early. And it was, I threw my arms up and it was great to see.
Yeah.
And, as a Carolina fan.
Because that's the comeback. We've said it. Regardless of who's won what year, whatever, that's the ultimate trump card now.
Yes.
It's not only winning the Final Four game, it's winning his last game. Obviously, Final Four matters, but winning the game at Cameron with like 70% of the people back, that's almost as big. Not as, but those are two of the biggest wins you can have against him. Any conversation you can end with that. Be like, oh, by the way, we put him 6 feet under. Really?
Yeah, I mean, it was the whole, Coach Williams called it the event. And I thought that was a good analogy, like the event. I'm not really sure it was a game. There was a lot more, that went into that, like the whole, I don't know what it was where they all had, the former players had the K thing on and he ran through high-fiving.
He stole the senior day.
Senior nights from Theo John and Joey Baker.
They don't matter.
Yep.
Golly,
Yep.
man. I don't
know.
hate Duke as much as it seems, but I'm just calling them out.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
It's not hate if it's facts,
Yes.
as the fact sheet says.
All right, well, Tyler, thank you. Best of luck tonight. I'm on UNC.
Let's go, guys.
Appreciate
Thanks
it.
for having
Grab
me.
a couple for the road. If you want to walk out that way, we got a little area, too. You can hang out.
All right,
Yeah.
cool. Thanks, guys.
We are brought to you by High Noon. High Noon Hard Seltzer's the best. Vodka and soda. Tyler's going to grab a couple on his way over there.
He is going to the game,
He's
apparently.
going to the game. We found that out. Found that out. He's going
luck.
to the game. We're also brought to you by our friends at Raising Cane's. Raising Cane's, one
best.
love.
Thank you.
Fingers,
Yeah.
the best in the
Thanks, Tyler.
business. I don't know if we have. Is Chase here?
He's said he left 10 minutes ago, so said it should be soon.
All right, let's go, Mincy. Get up here, Mincy. Get up here, Mincy.
Oh, they want
The
Mincy.
king. They want the king.
Can I piss?
They
You
want
wanna
the
do Mincy?
king.
Yes.
All right.
It's right here. They want the king.
I have.
No, stay, Rico. What are you doing?
No.
We're in the middle of a live show.
Rico.
He's going pee-pee
Rico
in the
asked me
game?
permission to go pee. I said
15-minute break.
All right.
I said he could go pee. You're saying no.
No,
You
don't
cannot go
pee.
pee-pee.
You don't go pee-pee in the middle of a show.
You will have to remain. You have 35 minutes.
We had a
I'll be all right.
Not
15-minute
even.
break.
I was
Mincy.
talking to some people.
The king.
Yeah, thank y'all. I appreciate the support for damn sure.
The king of the South.
I mean, it's true what you said.
Majority owner of walk-ons.
Yeah.
Nah, Brandon Landry does an awesome job, man.
Yeah,
Love being here.
we met Brandon.
He's the
He
front
said-
man. You need a front
Yeah.
man if you're you can't be this obvious.
Yeah. Brandon said, he was like, Vincent's the best boss I've ever had.
I think he's got probably a little deeper pocket than I do at this point, but someday maybe.
So, Mincy, how's this weekend been for you?
Oh, it's been incredible. It was surreal seeing y'all coming to Hogs on Friday night. And glad to see Dave. You just out all over the city, man. I've gotten so many texts and calls. People have been so
See,
appreciative.
I feel like you've been one step behind me this weekend. I'm going places, and then you're there like 24 hours. You're at Nola Pizza.
Yeah.
Weren't you at the barbecue too? I feel like you're
Yeah.
chilling.
We overdid it really, really big Friday and Saturday. So I think I went to bed at like 7 p.m. for the first time in my whole life.
Up early. When corporate Hank took me to breakfast, Mincy was already up drinking coffee. He had his own table, a nice spread, ready to go.
Oh, yeah, man. Always ready to go in New Orleans. It's been a spectacular week down here. And it's just great to see New Orleans thriving again after the last 2 years of COVID. It's been popping off so huge for Final Four and Mardi Gras and Hogs. The city's back, baby. I love
It is like the one, it's maybe only Vegas is the only other city where, like, everyone you see is drunk and then everyone you see is hungover. And it's like an all in it together kind of feel. It's just a very good time.
Yeah, there's a unique vibe here, and just feeling the music, everything. Everybody just comes here to let loose and throw down. Nobody judges each other, and it's just it's so unique. Just a great culture, and I love being part of it.
Who do you got tonight?
I took Carolina in the points. I agree with what Dave said. I think the big thing, the Vegas power ratings are overrating how Carolina was mediocre during the year. And so those power ratings factor into everything they do. And Dave's point is what I agree with. That's a different team than we saw that was getting blown out in mid-January. And they're just so hot. I mean, they're just on fire. They're playing with nothing to lose.
I don't get the hot thing that everyone's.
I don't.
Because like you win a championship,
What do you mean
you're in a
you don't get
championship, but Kansas is hot too. That's what I'm saying.
But Kansas has been like really good basically the whole season.
Yeah, they're hot, but you can't say someone's hot and they're both.
No,
in the
but
What
all
do you
right,
mean?
like no, it's like the Giants that beat the Patriots in the Super Bowl, a perfect season. They caught fire at the end. Carolina is playing their absolute best basketball. They lost by 20 to Duke the first time they played.
Yeah.
So what do you mean you don't know how they're hot?
But I think Kansas is hot too, where they're just going to beat the shit out
Kansas
of them.
is hot.
Yeah, I think it's
They're
going to beat
two
the shit
very
out of
good
them.
teams. It should be a pick 'em. That's my
I mean,
point.
both teams are on at least 5-game winning streaks.
That's true.
Facts.
The one thing, I think y'all are overrating. Carolina will be ready for this. I know they had their huge win against Duke. This is a national freaking championship.
I agree.
There ain't no letdown. They're ready to be here. I mean, come on. You're not picking
Vincey,
up
did
the
I
title
read
game.
this is also your first national title game? You're
Yeah,
going to be
I
in the
went to
building.
the Final Four in 03 here when it was TJ Ford against Carmelo Anthony, Dwayne Wade, and Heinrich and Collison. I went to the Saturday, but I did not go to the Monday. So, first national championship game. Gone to a lot of bucket list sporting events, but never this one.
Very exciting.
By the way, I just found out. I was just looking at I said Johnny Fanta's a legend, and a guy was like, he's a great brother too. And it was written by Marty Fanta, his brother. So that's kind of a seamless transition. If we hire Johnny and Marty,
Get them both?
Yeah. Out with.
Why, does Marty cover basketball as well?
I'm sure he's pretty good. We got another Marty.
Gotta know something.
Yeah.
You can tell the buzz is building a little bit closer, too, as we get to tip in here. Walk-ons, it's starting to, get going, which is, I love, the environment going.
I'm officially back, by the way. I hit a wall at 3:30, had a couple high noons. I'm back.
I will say, I'm glad being here because the tip-off time I've never understood for this
It's
game.
so
9:20.
9:20
the worst.
Eastern?
Bananas late. Feels good when you're here. You get the party, build up to it. But, man, East Coast back home, no good.
Terrible.
No good.
Dave, what have you thought of New Orleans this weekend? I know that's one of your first.
I've loved it.
Okay.
So I've never spent time in the city. We're here for one day.
The WrestleMania, right?
And we threw on the Hart Foundation, and we wrestled down Bourbon Street.
which, in retrospect, so disgusting.
So disgusting. we were on the ground. We were just going out. Also, something we probably couldn't do nowadays.
No
We weren't
way.
just 2 feet.
No way.
But I love it. I mean, I love where we're staying in the Art District. I love where Pizza Nola was, kind of like that warehouse area.
Yeah.
I've been very, very impressed. I don't love Bourbon Street.
No, well, good.
Not my cup of tea.
You're feeling like a local already.
Yeah, not my. Bourbon Street gives me like Duval, Times Square.
Yeah,
that's
I'm not
not my
into it either.
jam.
I'm not into
Bourbon's
it.
a lot. Yeah, it's a
But
lot.
you keep saying that. You're there every 10 minutes.
No,
You were Mr. Bourbon. You're Rico Bourbon.
I was on Bourbon 2 nights. Some meetings on Bourbon and some meetings off.
But I
Bourbon.
honestly don't know what anyone does here except eat and drink.
I had to get out of here in 2014.
I mean, it's
for those
eat,
reasons.
drink, eat, drink,
Party
eat,
and
drink.
booze, party.
The making
Yeah,
money.
exactly, I know.
make a
But
lot
to
more
be here
sense.
like 24/7, I don't know what you do. Eat, drink, eat, drink, eat, drink.
Yeah.
I know.
Music.
This is the making money. scene.
Yeah. It makes a
Big
lot
time.
more sense.
Yeah.
And we'll be back here now that Louisiana has gambling legalized. Probably go to Baton Rouge this year.
Yeah.
Probably go to an LSU game this year.
Definitely go to
Yeah.
LSU
Yeah.
game.
Yeah, we'll bring the
Definitely
college
go to
football
LSU
show.
You can come sit with me and Todd.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, blackout. Both of you'll be blackout.
Yeah.
Savannah's probably
I don't want to do that to Todd. No, listen. Yeah. Have you met her husband? Okay.
Was
game day?
he on his feet or was he on
On
the
the game day
He
when he
doesn't
doesn't
eat on
eat.
game day.
No chicken fingers.
Mr.
I'm
Making
still
Money's a
working.
great guy when he's sober. Then he doesn't eat on game day, and he's like, "Who the hell is?"
He
this
actually
guy?
changed that because it was not game day and he blacked out again. But Saturdays are off the board.
It's Saturdays. They're still the best. The best.
I saw him earlier. He's like, I'm still awake.
The best
Like, all right.
was when I first met Mr. Making Money, and he was blacked out because it was LSU game day. And he comes up to me, he goes, "I'll bet you $500, rock, paper, scissors, shoot, and I guarantee I'm going to throw a rock." And I was like, "Okay," and he did it. And he threw rock, and I threw paper. And he's like, "Wait, You weren't supposed to throw paper.
Did he pay you?
No, he's like, I wasn't supposed to be like that.
That was he was already out on his feet at that point. So that,
he
that
thought he could
definitely
like trick me. I was like, you told me what you're gonna do, and then you did it. It doesn't work when you. Yeah, you're just like, okay, cool.
No, it's a great city. It really is a great city, and it's more. I think Bourbon gives it the reputation of the touristy, but the other sections are awesome.
Walkable
It's a
too.
city
I like
too
it.
that it has such a defined culture that you don't get when you go to like any city. You know what I
Yes.
mean? Like you go to a lot of cities and you don't. It's a great city, whatever. But this one, like when you're in New Orleans, you're in New Orleans.
The other thing is they love Barstool down here. Baton
yeah.
Rouge, NOLA. We've really built something here. Obviously, Barstool's roots northeast, but it's Louisiana.
I got one slight bone to pick with you.
Uh-oh.
Hogs for the cause.
Go ahead.
There was like no food on Friday night.
There was no food Friday. There weren't enough bacon and wings out there. We ran out pretty quick.
It was.
How
wasn't
did it-
food at
Saturday, there was plenty.
Is that how the money was raised, by people buying it with the watches? or
That was your tickets, and then you put food money on your watches. The money was also raised by donations. People throw events all year. It's just an overall big thing.
I mean, it was a great.
Saturday there was tons of food. All the barbecue was Saturday.
Everyone said Saturday.
And everybody was so hungover. Saturday, I mean, the Friday night, we had our DJ set till like 3:30 going off. There were a lot of people hurting on Saturday, to say the least.
At least you got good weather Saturday.
Yeah, it was. It was great.
You know who I have heard is in the building, but I haven't seen him, is the Sharp Cowboy, which I would love to know who
He was there all Saturday, too.
I think he's here now, is what I've been
Rico,
told.
by the way, just had a heart attack when you said cowboy. He
No,
was
that
like,
we-
oh,
that's-
God.
I knew he was talking about the new guy because he said Sharp.
He was all over it the other day. I
Yeah,
heard he's
Nice guy, yeah. Real
Yeah,
nice guy.
I don't know. I haven't seen
I
him.
think he gave Hank
a parlay,
Kansas
yeah.
-2 and Baycott Palos
Yeah,
points.
he gave me that,
Yeah,
and I
same
gave
one,
Hank.
yeah.
That was easy.
Yep.
So, do you have any props tonight, Mincy?
I just went. I went Overs Club. It's 152. I like that. I took UNC, and I like the money line. UNC and money line and overs plus 390. I think it's good value.
Yeah.
Carolina gets hot, shoots well. Yeah.
Okay.
And by the way, even though I'm on UNC, I would put. We talked about it briefly. I think going to Fog Allen is like a
Yes.
top 5 venue in all of sports.
I wanna go so
I've never
bad.
been.
See it. I've never been, but
So
they hear like
badly.
that chant. So I like Kansas. I have nothing against them. But Carolina's taken me this far. I'm going to stick with them.
Yeah, no, and everyone I met from Kansas has been very nice. Like, it's not one of those schools where you're like, oh, I don't have any connection. I also hate them, like Duke. But yeah, no, I want to go to Fog Allen very badly. It feels like a cathedral.
Speaking of campuses, we're out to dinner talking about University of Missouri. And they're yelling. Up and down, this guy's swearing it is a top 5 campus in the SEC. Is this true or not?
I don't consider them really
KU
in the
fans hate
SEC.
Missouri.
I know that.
I don't really consider Missouri in the SEC still.
I'm just trying to get a fair polling. I'm thinking campuses.
Yeah.
That's not true. That's just very not true.
Have you
They
been-
went to like
11 or 12.
back-to-back SEC championship games.
It was 11 or 12.
They literally went
They came in at
back-to-back
11 or 12 in the A&M.
Right there, isn't that him?
Yeah, there he is.
Oh, Cowboys there?
I'd love to know his picks.
We got to get his picks.
Whatever they are.
Hank,
I
go
guarantee
get his
they're winners.
picks.
I don't know if he publicly gives them out.
Or Mike,
what,
get his picks.
But I guarantee you they're winners.
Mike's going to get the picks for us.
No, he's winners.
Oh,
he knows his picks for sure. He gave it to us the other day. He
Mike's,
nailed it.
what a great.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've been trying to get him. He's pissed at you.
Why?
Right there.
What?
Right there.
Yeah.
Dan said he was on the sports book.
He was.
He said he had $3,000
Yeah. We're also, why don't we get Megan a microphone if we're doing
Yeah,
like a
because
whole
she's probably
show?
going to black out on camera.
You want her to get mine?
No.
You're probably too. You got to take Rico. He's going to go pee-pee.
Everyone watching at home is like, we can't hear anything.
What's going on?
Yeah, why is there a young...
All right, that was
Run, Chalk.
Yeah. All right, go ahead, Megan, real quick.
So I am the one that originally found the cowboy. He came up to me and he knew my other co-host of Money Shots, and he wanted to know about the show.
Give Mike the mic.
Mike?
for this?
Brady plus 2.5
Brady
three-pointers.
Manic over 2.5.
Come here. No, come here.
That's
All right,
it.
here comes the Cowboy.
He even had he asked for a picture. He asked for a picture, and he pulled out not a phone, but a fat-ass camera. That's how I knew it was respect.
I love
He
it.
also was.
He was. Tell him you were mad at him.
You were mad at me?
Yes.
Well, no, the company. I still can't get online. I still can't
He
get
said you were
online.
online.
I watched you. You were on our sports book.
Not so. They
On the
won't.
iPad.
They won't let
You were
me
looking
deposit.
You were looking at college baseball lines on the app.
I'm just telling you what it is.
Okay, all right.
Right now, I can't get a deposit on.
Tell him I need a raise.
And
All right, I'm gonna try
this
to
young
figure this out.
lady.
I'm going to try to figure it out right now. Why
Wait,
didn't
so
it
what are
work?
your picks?
He may be a sharp because his picks are sharp.
He's laying like $5,000 a game.
So what are the picks?
We're taking UNC tonight, right?
No, is it Baycott over 2.5 threes? Is that
No,
correct?
I will give you that
Manic.
one free.
Manic. I meant Manic.
Bacon over 2.5 3-pointers.
I meant Manic.
Manic.
Hey, I met his mom in the elevator. That's a lock. That's a lock. I met his mom in the elevator.
No, it's not Baycott.
It's a
Baycott
lock.
doesn't
Manic.
shoot threes.
Manic.
What
I
are we
meant
talking
Manic.
Brady Manic.
I meant Manic. Is
Right?
that the pick?
Manic.
That
Now
is
he's
his
playing
pick.
games with
I'm
us.
going in. That's your pick?
Look at his bolo. It's got a
2.5.
It's got a fucking chip on it.
Brady
Listen to
Manic,
this man.
correct?
For anybody
Over
watching, this
2.5
guy's so
three-pointers.
sharp it scares me.
How much money do you need to make?
Oh.
No, it was confusion. I'm not.
Yes.
He
Attack
already,
him.
listen, just so you know,
There was
the history
confusion
of
between
Barstool,
Baycott and Matt.
he
That's
already
all.
thinks that you're going to take his job, so he's going to try to get
Squeeze
you
out. Squeeze
He's like,
out.
this guy's kind of old. What are we doing here? That's what he's going to
All
start
I
saying.
know is I would never bet in Colorado.
Okay.
That's an inside problem joke here.
I don't know what that means.
Colorado's
but
a
I'm
lovely.
down for it.
Colorado's a lovely App State for Barstool Sports.
Yeah,
Hold on.
Inside the state limits.
Hold on. So what is the lock, Cowboy?
He just says Brady Manic over 2.5.
It's an old bet. It's an old joke.
No, but I need to know the lock tonight. Who are you taking?
All right. I haven't betted yet because I can't. If I had to bet, well, let me tell you, I watched Kansas City fold like a cheap suit against Providence in the fourth quarter. They shouldn't have won the game, let alone cover the spread. They collapsed. So I can't bet on Kansas City. Now, if so, and I'm not. All right, I'm not crazy about North Carolina, but I would take the points. I'd have to take them.
Take the points with the Tar Heels.
The Brady Manic because I don't know what. Do you like the 2.5 over? Well, it's too late. I bet it.
You better.
Yeah, I bet it on him.
You like Matic over 2.5 threes?
Absolutely.
Yes, that's
All right.
that's fine. That's
a little confusion.
One more time, tell
I
everybody.
said Baycott. I fucked up and said Baycott.
Hold on. Let him tell the lock one more time so everybody knows. Tell him what the bet is.
Well, first of all, if to me, if you're going to bet, I'm sitting tight for the first half. I want to see both of these guys play the first half before I decide total or where I'm going the second half, because I'll know who's making three-pointers or not. And probably, if right now, if you screw all that, North Carolina,
Screw it all!
win, who's going to score the most free throws?
I got Caleb over 17.5 points over 3. All right, I responsibly put 40 grand on over
there we go.
3.5. So
That's who's going to win the game, is what I'm saying. Who scores the most free throws?
All right.
You want to watch the game with us?
He's got money. He's a whale.
All right.
I like Chip. All right,
There it
thank
is.
you, Cowboy.
This guy's
Appreciate it.
straight
I also
winners.
love the Grateful Dead.
He's 2-0. We got to get him on the sports book. I don't understand. I think he may be a sharp. But
No,
whatever.
he's a huge whale. Let's
Grateful
get him
Dead.
on.
Yes,
like
I just said-
immediately.
That's all
All
right.
right. Thank you so much.
My pleasure, my dear.
Put you in body bag, too.
That guy's going to be hosting Bench Mob next year.
Him and Johnny Fanta.
Wow. What a combo.
I believe he has a poker chip necklace.
Yes, a bolo tie.
Yeah, a poker chip bolo tie. You talk about guys you don't sit down playing poker with. By the way, that guy is wearing a bolo necklace with the poker chip. It's a legit. That is somebody. If he sits down at the poker table, you get up.
Yes.
Like and
yes.
fast.
Yes.
I screwed up. I said Baycott. I screwed up. Shoot
That's
me.
okay.
I meant Manic.
You fucked up.
I fucked up. Players fuck up. But I just took the Manic based on that. It's minus 167.
Baycott would have been a hell of a bet. Has he hit 3 this year?
He's due. He's due.
Dave's watching it like, why is this guy not shooting?
He's a fucking big
guy. I screwed up. Slip of the tongue.
And we owe it to Manic. The same thing we said, to pay it forward.
Yes.
Him hitting that 3 with like 2
I am now
minutes left.
fully invested in this game. I have nothing less in my account. That's the only way to responsibly watch a national championship.
I'm in the exact same boat.
Yeah.
All right, why don't we wrap it up with, we'll run down all of our picks.
Final
and then
picks.
We'll send everyone off to get drunk. And thank you again to Walk-On's unbelievable host. Thank you to Raising Cane's. Thank you to High Noon. It's been an awesome weekend in New Orleans. We love it here. We love everyone.
They really should. This should be on the rotation. Like, it should never, like, Super Bowl here should never be more than 3 years.
We have one 2 years from now?
2025. Vegas is 2024.
Yeah, you know, that may have been, we tried to, little known fact, we tried to name the Superdome.
Well, man, you told me
it was
that.
like 10 mil a year or something crazy like that. But our big concern was the Super Bowl, in that they wouldn't let us have it on Goodell for the Super Bowl. So it's like, well, that's a big part of that contract.
Yeah. Yes. All right, picks real quick.
I got Brown over 2.5 assists, Kansas minus 10, Kansas minus 4, and that's it. And overs club.
Okay.
I got UNC money line. I took the Manic over 3. I got Caleb Love over 17.5 points. I got Caleb Love over 2.5 threes. I got the assist with Braun, and I believe that's it.
I'm on Brown over assists.
And the over, sorry.
I'm on Brown over 3s, 1.5. I'm holding Kansas futures. I was going to sit it out. I'm doubling down. Jayhawks tonight minus 4.
Whoa.
See it all right through. Get the fucking scissors ready. Rock, chalk.
Scissors. Megan's drunk.
Oh, yeah.
All right. I got the over big.
The Megan money's halfway there.
My biggest bet is the over. I have UNC plus 4, UNC money line, and then I have the Brown. I'm calling him Braun. The Braun over assists.
I need him
Manic
dishing the
over
ball like
threes.
a motherfucker. I don't even want that guy looking at the hoop.
Yeah, need pass.
I got basically the same as you. UNC money line, UNC plus 4 over 152. Let's go Tar Heels.
And we'll be streaming. I think PFT's got Kansas minus 6.
And
I don't know what Hank has. Hank, what do you have?
Oh,
Hank has the Cowboy. He's just riding with the Cowboy.
All right, thank you, everybody.
Yeah, thank you, everyone. Really appreciate it. I'll throw out some cards. Have fun tonight. Good luck to everyone. And thanks for coming out. Thank you again to Raising Cane's, High Noon, Walk-Ons, Brandon, everyone. So we appreciate it, and we'll see you guys. Todd and Brandon, both unbelievable this weekend. Thank you, guys.